They preach that good stuff. This is titties, man.
Shadow, they are slandering your name in this chat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It's like the Discord all over again.
The streets have been fiending for it, I guess.
Don't worry, Shadow. I'm defending you in the chat. Don't worry about it.
Hey, we are live.
Hey, man, you guys gotta wait, man. Like, you know, stuff be going wrong. You know, Streamlabs OBS is just terrible. All right, so give it a moment. All right. All right, hold on. Let me do some mic checks. Everybody start talking shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We is
Big
live.
baller Blake here, as they say.
You already know I sound perfectly fine. Honestly, if Pelvic ain't here, you're probably fine.
Lord?
Am I wrong?
Wow.
You know, she has to adjust her mic every time she pops in. Like, she don't know what time it is. Like, Shadow's not going to get on her for it.
Exactly. See, that's your friend.
Pretty sure you put her on here.
Listen,
I'm pretty sure that's how it happened.
listen. I saw a black streamer and I was like, Black Lives Matter.
You're like, one of us. One of us.
All right, chat. How's the audio levels, chat? Do I need to adjust anything? Do I need to turn anybody up or down? Are we too loud? I don't want to.
Starting to like Nisa more nowadays. See what that curl does to a motherfucker.
Make you a person of culture. Say it in so.
I don't know if you want to save it for the curl section, but could Curl be the Persona 4 or the Final Fantasy 7 of the series?
I just say could be the Persona killer, and I'm like, hey, yo, let's not.
Yeah, let's definitely
save
it for that.
let's not overstep boundaries here.
I feel like Riku would actually hate that to happen.
Oh shit!
Because you know what happens to those fan
bases.
bases.
Yeah.
Whenever those series reach that point.
Crazy.
Person done crawled off into the hallway. Nah, you're dead. Come here.
See, I saw Kaseki trending yesterday, Phantom Killer, and when I looked, I got Animal Crossing porn.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to you, bro.
I'm not joking, ass Blake. I looked it up.
You fucking sent it to me, you weirdo. You should send it to Riku. That's two things he loves.
We have to suffer together.
Y'all disgusting.
I literally saw Kaseki trending. I was like, oh, what's these Trails fans talking about? And the first result was Animal Crossing porn.
I'll expect that from Riku. No, you, but no, you, Bao. No, you. Riku behavior.
That's wild.
Some good wine.
Time for another Pelvic and Pals podcast. Glad to see Shadow back as a guest.
All right, guys, you already know what time it is. It's the HPMP JRPG podcast time, y'all.
What was okay?
Yeah, that's what it was. I'm trying to bring some energy here. All right, is there a problem, Blake? Can I not bring some high pitched energy? Like, well, what's up?
I think you need to match everyone
else's.
It
is 2 months after Pride Month, but yeah, you go off.
Oh man. All right, I will go off. All right, King. Just tell me to go off, King. All right. Recognize. All right. All right. You didn't hear that, but I did the snap and I did the whole finger movement too when I did it. All right.
Chatty brought the sass.
All right. Yeah. Extra sassy. All right, guys. Well, it's been a minute, guys. I apologize for it being so long. It's just been the weekends have gotten away from me. Sometimes I didn't know what was going on the weekends, and then it was just like, I know I can't do a podcast, but we got a moment here on Saturday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. The Big Bruv. What up? Ricardo, Kogan, Black Ace, Ace Breaker, Nightwolf. What's going on, guys? Phantom Killer. How
One day
y'all doing?
you will pronounce Coogan's name correctly.
Coogan Savas.
You tried. Next time you'll try again. It's okay. Let's move on.
Listen, I got it. I got it. All right. I used Hooked on Phonics when I was a kid. All right. I can do this. All right.
That's a name I haven't heard in years.
Oh man, Nightwolf, what up? Kevin Lewis, what up? Sebastian, what is going on? Y'all ready for all this heat? all this JRPG goodness that we got going on. Of course, we're going to cover the major stuff, and then we'll trickle down to the less than exciting stuff. But we got stuff going on, especially with Tokyo Game Show. Isn't Tokyo Game Show going on right now?
Something like that.
Might be over now.
I think Xbox did a presentation or something like that.
I thought it was like a weekend thing. I completely forgot. I stopped keeping up with Tokyo Game Show because it just became known as the mobile game show. Like no major announcements. Just a whole bunch
This year
of
was
mobile
actually
games.
the best in a long time. Surprised me.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Well, it did have so it had Final Fantasy VII.
There's had a lot of Yakuza 8.
Yo, Yakuza 8 is going to be that game, bro. I can't wait to get that shit. Hopefully, I play it right this time.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of
What
itching
do
to
you
play
mean?
7, but I still want to kind of go through the series.
Oh man, we got a $10 super chat from Cranberry. What up?
Cranberry, welcome in, Cranberry. $10. Good to have y'all back. Be in black. I love an all black podcast, so I accept y'all gonna be on Black People Time. Yes, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
black podcast. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so guys, I don't know what happened with Streamlabs, but it updated, and I cannot get the alerts to appear anymore. It's so fucking weird. So I apologize. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh wait, no, the alerts do show up. Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. All right, guys, welcome to HBMP JRPG Podcast, episode 99. We are one episode away from 100. It's gonna be a crazy podcast today. I think. I hope. I'm not sure. All right. So let's start off with these intros. Go ahead, Riku.
Riku-san, one, the only one, aka Falcom's finest,
Oh, Lord.
aka we in there like swimwear. What's good, everybody?
Yo, whose man is this? Whose man is this? Blake, go ahead.
It is that time. What's going on, guys? It's me, Westtown HD. Haven't gotten to do that in a while. But yeah, we are here back. Episode 100 next... No, I almost said next week, not next week, but that's going to pop off when it does. We got some great topics to talk about, y'all. Persona 3 is looking toasty. FF7 Rebirth is looking like it's going to rebirth the JRPG brand. And we excited. We excited here today to talk about these video games. Buckle up. We might have a longer show today than usual. There's a lot of shit to talk about.
He ain't wrong. He is not wrong. Q, go ahead.
This is your husband of dreams, of course. We are here to talk about them waifus and answer some questions. I know a lot of you guys are waiting to hear about my progress with a certain something. How about we save it for the end of the show? I think that
The show. We're running. Okay.
This man said end of the show. Oh my God. No, sir. That's going to be one of the first things we cover. Bow, go ahead, man.
Welcome everyone to another HPMP. I know it's been a while, but because of that, we have a truckload of JRPG and regular gaming news to talk about today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Alrighty, okay, you guys know who I am, Shadow Elite HD, Mr. JRPG Beast 3, gaming out here. We out here streaming on Twitch as well when we get the moment. But I was streaming a lot of what's that game called again, Riku? I forgot.
Eiyu Densetsu, Hajimari no Kisuki.
Oh my God. I forgot he was actually going to do that. But yeah, streaming a lot of that, going through it my way or the highway. Actually, Riku had to convince me to turn the difficulty up to Nightmare because it was actually a little bit too, it was too easy. Hell, Nightmare might be a little bit.
Just makes you tear through everything like wet tissue.
It's like United. It's like there's so much to do in that game that you can just make everything so broken. It's just like I have to limit myself sometimes. I was like,
Would you say this is a nice mouthwash cleanser from the previous game you were playing?
What was the previous game? Oh yeah.
No, you can't even
100%.
remember. That's a crazy.
100%. Actually, we might as well get into that. Yeah. So the last game I played was Final Fantasy 16. It took me a while to beat it, but I beat it, and then I went to Reverie afterwards. Let me just tell you, like he said, it was a nice palate cleanser to come to Reverie after fucking playing Final Fantasy 16. When I got to the end of 16, I was just like, is this game over yet? I don't want to play this shit no more. Like I was literally thinking that to myself.
So I still haven't played 16. I'm still looking forward to it. There seems to be this weird thing going on that it seems like the honeymoon phase is simmering down, and I'm starting to see a chunk of people come up and be like, you know what, this game is pretty mid. What's going on, Shadow? What's going on?
I think it's like the more you play it, the more you realize how like barren kind of the world is, how the story just doesn't captivate you enough, how the gameplay, while you can probably show me a whole bunch of YouTube videos of a Devil May Cry player doing a whole bunch of shit, you don't really need to do any of that stuff at all because the game is just so easy. And if you just so happen to die, you'll just go back to the boss fight with full potions and shit. So it's like there's no consequence, there's no danger, there's no real reason to get good, if you will, even to a not to like a Dark Souls extent, but like just like a normal game extent of like, okay, let me re-go to that battle and let me try something again. No, you really don't have to. Just freaking attack, bash the attack button. You ain't gotta do nothing else.
Are you still putting this above Final Fantasy 15 though?
Yeah, I am. That's definitely definitely putting it above 15. Absolutely.
I say because keep in mind
15
even. Oh, go ahead.
Like, no, you got.
I was gonna say just keep in mind for like because I agree with Shadow on a lot of the parts. Like my biggest gripe with 16 is that the in between is so fucking boring. Like when you're in between, like icon fights are absolutely the highlight. Like,
absolutely.
Like you know how which game was it? Was it maybe it was Xenoblade 2 or 3 that were saying that like the end of chapters are always like the most hype parts of the game. That's very true for 16 as well. Like like when you're fighting like the icon fights, those fights. Say what you will about the rest of the game. The icon fights are still incredible. They still push the PS5 hardware. They will heat your whole room. Your PS5 will sound like a jet engine, bro. Freaking Titan Lost is still one of my favorite fights in gaming, bro. That shit is amazing. However, Shadow is right. The in-between, the world is kind of empty. Side quests are very boring.
Yep.
How long did this game take to create? Does anybody remember?
I would say it's probably like 3 to 4 years.
For now.
3 to 4 years that we know of, at least.
So what you're trying to say is the game is style over substance. It's good looking.
I would say
in terms of gameplay, yes.
In the beginning, it feels you feel like you're struggling a bit more because you don't have as many of the icon abilities. But as you become more and more OP, it just starts becoming Asura's Wrath, where it's just spectacle over like like actual like detailed gameplay.
Kind of wish they would unlock the harder difficulty from jump because I heard you have to play a second playthrough to get it.
Yeah, yep. Final Fantasy difficulty is only New Game Plus.
Why would they do that?
They do that for Final Fantasy. Like I'm playing through 7 Remake right now, and you can only play on normal mode to start.
Why do they do that?
Did you say Final Fantasy difficulty?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh, bull. So what's the difficulty before that? Not Final Fantasy?
I don't know. Real quick, we got a super chat from Ricardo Belmont, the boy. Honeymoon phase noticed it with RE3 remake. I don't know.
I feel like out the gate, no one liked RE3 remake.
Yeah,
I'm playing RE3 remake right now. I am barely.
Okay, Riku. So think about it from this perspective. You're just coming off the heels of RE2 remake. You pre-order RE3 remake. RE3 remake was full $60 US price tag at launch. I don't know how much you paid for it. So you play. You sit down. You sit down. You're like, okay, I've got a couple hours to play. I'll play the first little bit of the game, and that's the whole game. You're done in 3 hours.
I will say this. I gave Resident Evil 2 remake like a 9.5 out of 10. This is like a low 7. So even with me enjoying myself, I can still see a significant drop in.
How have you not beaten the game yet?
I only play like an hour.
Okay.
Once every like 4 days.
I'm about to say, I was like, the game is like 3-4 hours. But yeah, back to 16. That game that day took me out of it. I was drained, and I ain't gonna lie. During the last when the main villain came up and then he started like talking about his motivation and stuff, I was so tempted to hit the skip button. I was like, I don't care about your motivation. I don't care about you. Just end this fucking game already. Like, I got nothing. I got nothing against Clive, Joshua, Jill. I got nothing against it. You're all just not. I just don't care for any of you guys. That's the problem.
I heard the side quests around the end of the game are good though.
I wouldn't know.
It's just at that point, no one cares to do them. That's the issue. You just want to get it over with. But yeah, so the ones at the end of the game are better than the rest of the ones in the game. Also, the
Okay.
issue is that a million of them pop up at once right before the final boss.
Yep.
And a lot of people just want to get to the final boss.
Yep, I was like, at that point, I'm just done. I don't even feel like anymore. Like I was just like, because
Yeah.
I was doing every single quest up until like the start, the end of the game, and now I was just like, nope, I'm not doing these anymore. I don't care. It just go to this person, go take out these fucking monsters, go to this location. It was nothing. It was nothing like Reverie. I'll say that
Shadow,
much.
what do you think they should do for 17 then?
They need to honestly. Okay, I would say go back and do the party system. Make sure you got a likable cast of party members. But if they're going to continue like this, make it a little bit challenging for me or something like that. Like also, like look back at your linear games that actually worked, like Final Fantasy X. That game was linear. That game, but it had a world that you actually cared about. I don't know how it did it. I don't know the magic that Final Fantasy X worked. It just worked. Okay? And I enjoyed it for that. It was linear as hell. You couldn't go anywhere else until the end of the game almost. But for some reason with this one, it just doesn't feel it just doesn't feel like it has that Final Fantasy spice
Feels hollow.
to it. Yeah, it feels hollow. It feels empty. It feels like nothing. It feels like you just don't care. They need to do something about that.
Are you doing a video on this game, or just like no, you don't even care? Just sort of
I want to do a video on this game, but I gotta prioritize Disgaea 7 video first because that's what I need to make sure I get out. But yeah, that's my experience with 16. Don't care for it. It's above 15, and I know they're gonna go this route with the next game. I really hope they don't. And I guess we're kind of starting it, but like I think. One of the things about 16 is it made money. Like it ultimately made good money for Square, but I don't know. They said it targeted their sale goals, but I don't believe that.
They said it performed within their expectations.
Yeah.
Which I'm curious what that means because I think Tomb Raider like sold like 3 mil, but Square wanted it to sell 5. So I'm like, what were your expectations?
But I also feel like they will never badmouth Final Fantasy 16. Like it was too important of a release to actually like fail or say anything bad about.
Yeah,
But,
I also think Final Fantasy I think is still Square's poster child. So.
Exactly,
Despite
like-
the fact they have, I wouldn't say better JRPGs under their belt, like everything that the Octopath team is doing, Octopath 2, Live Alive, Triangle Strategy, like those games are great for like traditional JRPG fans. Even Dragon Quest I think has eclipsed Final Fantasy a little bit, but
yeah, it's just bad. Like people will say like, oh, you have to believe what the company puts out. I'm like, look at their past history and look at what they said is unsatisfactory before, and now you're saying it's satisfactory now. Like the PS5 doesn't have the install base of the PS4, but we're expecting Square Enix, this company that has had ridiculous expectations for sales before in the past, to all of a sudden say, yeah, Final Fantasy 16 did good enough. It performed within our expectations. What the fuck does that even mean? You could have just said so really well. Like, no, you didn't.
Shadow, quick question, right? So knowing Square and the way in which they tend to handle their JRPGs now, if they put out a DLC for it, like
I'm done.
No, let me finish. I'm not finished with it with a question. So they put out a DLC and it's on PC. You dipping in again?
If I get it through other means, if I get it selling the high seas,
that boy
I
is
might be able
going crazy.
I might check it out.
He owns it and he's trying to. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Hold on, we got a super chat from Blandrew.
Super chat
Our
from the
boy
whole
Blandrew. Maybe we should get Blandrew for episode 100.
Oh
What's up,
man,
Blandrew?
we should.
All right, super chat from that boy Blandrew. I just really wish Square Enix would make Final Fantasy again. I don't know why they shifted so hard away from those classic games. I mean, didn't they say it was due to like sales numbers and stuff? Didn't like I guess 13 was the last ATB game, right? So,
Yeah, technically, yeah.
13 was ATB.
It was.
Was it? It was doing
Yeah,
its own weird.
13's ATB.
Yeah, don't use it.
Okay.
But like they shifted from it because like they want to attract a broader audience. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they honestly believe, like I think 16 just proved the fact that you could make this Final Fantasy for everybody, and you could make a classic RPG for just casuals and RPG fans, and they're gonna sell just the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like everyone that heavily enjoyed Final Fantasy 16 and still stand by it today are people who don't really play JRPGs like that. That's as far as what I'm seeing for the most part.
Are you sure there aren't like some people who are just diehard Final Fantasy fans and will accept whatever once it has the name Final Fantasy?
I mean, obviously those people are out there as well, but I'm saying, I'm seeing it from people that it's definitely a combination of both. Final Fantasy shills or people who don't really play JRPGs like that, and they just said, I never played a Final Fantasy before, but I heard this one is the turn base. I'm in.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
True. And they play it for like 5 seconds and never actually play the rest. Go ahead, Blake.
We have another super chat from Cranberry. $10 super chat saying the recent Baldur's Gate 3 is doing fantastic as turn-based. Couldn't Final Fantasy go back to that, especially if they add back the party system? So Baldur's Gate 3 is turn-based, yes, but like the isometric like style, I don't think that would work for Final Fantasy. But yeah, Baldur's Gate is proof that there is like a very big interest still in that type of game. And the funny thing is, these people, they're like, oh my gosh, turn-based. These motherfuckers are playing D&D, bro. That is turn-based. Calm yourself. Like, and
I also think one of the big reasons why Baldur's Gate 3 is the success that it is, I feel like the turn-based part of it is the least aspect of it that made it successful. I think it's literally everything else.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's the quality of it.
I also think the thing with Baldur's Gate as well is that it got a lot of press from a lot of things, like for example, like, oh, you can have a relationship with a bear and random stuff. I think it's the freedom that the game offered. Like you could just do any random shit you want, and I think that's what got people in, because once you started seeing that on mainstream news about all this sort of stuff, I think anyone heard about it and was like, even if you weren't interested in Baldur's Gate, let me just try this to see what it is about, and that's kind of how that's. Yeah,
everyone I heard that was hyping up Baldur's Gate, it felt like they were talking about literally everything but the turn-based gameplay.
Yep. Exactly.
And then I also heard, the small amount of people who tried Baldur's Gate 3 and said they couldn't get into it. That's the one thing that they mentioned, that they couldn't get into it. Man, I wanted to love this game so bad. Everything about it sounded amazing. And then I actually played the gameplay and I saw it was turn-based. I don't know about this anymore. I'm like, geez.
Yeah, the thing about Baldur's Gate 3 is that I played it and I was just like, I'm afraid of this game as much as I was afraid. I'm afraid of it as much as I was afraid of World of Warcraft back in the day. Because I was like, I'm not going to play World of Warcraft because I know I'm going to get sucked into that game. I'm never going to get anything done.
You never come back out. Yeah,
I literally did that for Baldur's Gate one weekend, and I spent like 10 hours in the game. I was like, how the hell did that happen? When did I spend 10 hours in this game out of nowhere?
Come up, damn it!
I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, I'm not going to do this, because also I'm also like I'm gonna be looking at a guide every 10 seconds to be like, did I miss anything? Did I miss a party member? Did I miss an interaction? I can't do Baldur's Gate right now. But
how can you play like that, though? Like having to like check the guides I feel like that's
because like well you will literally miss like a party member. I think like in the very beginning of the game is like you could miss Shadowheart going into your party if you don't get her. If you don't get her in the prologue, I'm like, what the fuck? It just so happened to win this way.
Personally, I feel like the weirdest things, like I've tried using guides in the past, and somehow the guide always spoils something in the story that I don't want to know, that I want to experience in the game.
Find a guide that doesn't do that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like non-spoiler guides out there. Yeah. Also, an interesting topic about Baldur's Gate, like, Riku brought up the fact that, you could fuck a lizard, you could fuck a cat, you could fuck a bear.
That was
all this stuff.
Sure.
So we're all cool with that. We're all cool with doing that stuff. But
here we go.
But anime titties in my RPG is a huge big deal. There's a whole bunch of fucking problems with that. Oh no,
it's because Baldur's Gate is Western.
I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm tired of these motherfuckers coming into my fucking game telling me, cover up the cleavage. She's got her boobs are bigger than her head. Oh my god! Oh no, I can fuck this bear. I can fuck this bear. Yes, let's go. Let's fuck a bear.
But Shadow, technically, it's not a bear. It's a guy that turned into a bear, so it doesn't count.
And you see, it's because this, unlike anime girls that are statistically all minors, this bear is of age, just so you know.
I heard someone say another way. It's okay when it's ugly people.
Wow. That's separate.
That's insane.
But yeah, I'm tired of these motherfuckers. All right, we need to like listen. I am out of the fucking booba. I need boobs in my JRPG. I need titties in my JRPGs. But hey, if the JRPG is gonna have titties, let them have titties. Stop making these fucking Eastern developers cover up their female characters in fear of fucking Westerners coming over and be like, man, it's just another JRPG with some big titty anime girl and all this other stuff. We don't need to look at this game. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 suffered from it, and then I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 did an overcorrection with the whole designs. But hey, that's just me and my tinfoil hat theory. But I'm just tired of these motherfuckers doing this shit. I'm tired of these motherfuckers saying one thing is okay, but when next time when a JRPG does it or an anime game does it, it's not okay. Rant over. I'm good now. Okay, it was great to get that out. It's great to get that out.
For the timestamper, he's just gonna have to put shadow goes off.
Yo.
Oh my god. I just had to.
That was beautiful, Shadow. That was beautiful. Defend them waifus. Go on. Your thing.
Man. I'm just tired of the double standards. That's all. I'm just tired. I'm just
I
tired.
100% agree. 100% agree. You know.
To show Abby getting her back blown out in fucking Last of Us, but no.
Crazy.
He's not finished, y'all.
Fucking A, man. I was playing. Let me go download Cyberpunk new DLC. Let me start over to see what's going on. I started a prologue. There's a naked girl with nipples showing in the fucking tub. But no, in a JRPG, cleavage is too much.
I thought you were gonna say, "Well, I went to the character creator. My cock was huge." Freaking Baldur's Gate does that too, bro. Like the full-on nudity.
What you gotta understand is anime waifus are considered, babies by Westerners. But it's okay if you make a mature looking Western style waifu. It's fine. We can accept that.
It's crazy. I feel like
just assume that anime equals cartoon and cartoon anime titties is bad. It's like that's your problem, bro. I'm sorry if you have an issue with that. That's your problem.
Exactly. We got
we got a mountain of super chats. Everyone's supporting Shadow. Now you're Fury with the super chat. Kind of wish they make a Godzilla game the way they did the icon battles. Hell yeah, I'd be down
pretty
for
cool.
That.
That'd be pretty
good. Grabbing King Ghidorah or something and doing the atomic blast down his throat. Oh yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a great idea. They need to do that. I don't know if any company would have the production values to do that, but damn, that would be pretty
true.
Cool.
I feel like I'm curious to know how much each icon battle costs Square. I feel like it was not cheap. Ricardo Belmont said, "Talk to him, Shadow. Listen. Everybody in chat knows." We all know equality.
Yo, Cranberry with that super chat. Oh, preach, Quan.
And Cranberry with the super chat.
What is that?
Titty emoji.
It's a titty emoji. You should know what's going on there, man.
I was like, why? Like, why what? I was like, I don't get it. Let's go, man. Let's go. Good. Thank you very much, Cranberry, for the opie. All right. All right. Let's go around the room real quick. Everybody just real quick go through what they're playing. You guys already know what I'm playing. And I'm playing Disguise 7. I think I could say that. But yeah, expect a...
I'm sure you can.
Can you?
Oh, you can? I can't?
No.
Doesn't know works, bro.
People should do.
Whoa. Sir.
It said right there in the fine print, don't mention a head.
This boy Shadow, man.
Well, I was referring to the Disguise 7 demo, sir. So I don't know what you're talking about. All right?
Obviously, my bad.
Thank you.
That's our bad, Shadow.
Thank you very much. All right. So yeah, Bob, go ahead with what you're playing, man.
Playing a little bit of Baten Kaito since those HD remasters are out. Playing a little Starfield. Playing a little Baldur's Gate. That's mainly it. Besides a certain other game.
All right. Q. Actually, no. Q, we'll save you for last. Blake, go ahead.
All right, what am I playing? Well, last night I just rolled the credits on Starfield. Incredible game with an incredible twist. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Really?
Very, very, very good game. Yes. What else was I playing? I just did a full new playthrough of Sonic Frontiers to prepare for the DLC that's coming at the end of the month.
How's
I'm
it feel with the new
also
updates and whatnot?
it feels like they really made an already like pretty decent game. Like they polished it even more. It's real
The
good.
cyber stages, do they feel a little bit more smooth to like run through and whatnot?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like because I kind of remembered part of the layout from when I played before, but I just felt like it was just more responsive.
Good.
So if anyone chat hasn't played Frontiers yet, never a bad time. They even added that little jukebox feature so you can listen to Sonic music while you're playing the game.
that's
It makes
nice.
a big difference. And on our Twitch page, your boy, on
Oh.
a whim, kicked up Final Fantasy VII Remake, playing it for the first time on stream. Have not played 7 Remake before, and I don't know, maybe it was just that most recent trailer for FF7 Remake Rebirth that they showed at the State of Play. I was like, oh, I got the itches. I couldn't scratch it till I played the game. So I'm playing the game, and FF7 Remake is great. I will probably be streaming more of that later in the week, maybe Monday. I'll have to let y'all know on the Discord and Twitter. But I think that's basically it for what I'm playing. I picked back up Chained Echoes because I didn't really finish Chained Echoes, and I am like slightly lost, but I think I'm finding my bearings again. I like to unwind with my Switch just in the evening, so it's just a little game I can just lay down in bed and play a little bit before bed. And Chained Echoes is just so cozy. It's such a good game. So playing a little bit of that, and yeah, pretty sure that's it.
This might be a hot take, but the more I think about it, the more I think Chain Echoes may be a top 10 JRPG of all time.
You're not wrong.
Definitely impressive.
You're not wrong. Honestly, that game
Like,
is just like I felt like every boss battle was
pixel
different.
art.
Like I was like, holy shit! Like it's something different I gotta do. A different gimmick to each battle, and it's not like a gimmick as a bad thing. This is a gimmick as in it's a good thing. Like holy shit! Like anyway, Chain Echoes go Echoes in my book.
It's so good.
Yeah, Riku, what are you playing?
Like I said earlier, I am currently playing Resident Evil 3. It's all right. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's amazing. Just going through it. I was playing Reverie, finished it. So I'm gonna go do my second playthrough soon enough, and then go
Why?
through the first game.
Why? Hero's coming out in the less time that it's going to take you to play that fucking game again.
Now, Blake.
I know you're not about to become a Call of Duty gamer for Trails.
I mean, why not?
Lord,
I swear to God, bro.
don't get him started yet. Don't get him started
Yo,
yet.
when you jump in on Sonic Superstars and Mario RPG and Spider-Man, I will not see you there.
All right.
He asked me what I was playing, and I'm just letting you know. Okay.
Go off, King, go off.
Okay.
All right.
So it's just that.
Okay.
Just that.
Q, what are you playing?
You sure you don't want to go first, Shadow? You can go before me.
No, I already said what I was playing. You can go ahead.
Okay, so I know you guys have been waiting from the beginning of the podcast for this, so I will start with I have been playing Sky. Everyone who is wondering, I'm like 90 something hours in.
Now remind us, give us a general recap of why you're playing Sky.
Because I made a bet with Bao. A bet that I'm winning, of course.
And how much was this bet for exactly? £1,000, of course, you know. So I have until the end of next year to finish this, all the way up to Reverie. That's the bet. So all those of you who want to like retroactively add some other games in there, that's not happening.
I thought the bet was to play all the Trails games between now and the end of next year.
We agreed up till Reverie, right?
Lord?
So
Did you agree, Bo?
I don't remember him saying up
I
to
could have sworn
Reverie.
he said that.
Don't recall up till Reverie.
He said verbatim, get caught up with Trails.
this was Reverie.
No, he did not say that. He did not say that.
Plus one more game to you, Q. You got this.
I know, right?
Wow, you didn't do me like that. Yeah, so I've been playing Sky, and I've been enjoying Sky. I'll say that much. I'm 90 something hours in, and obviously my playtime is inflated because
I'm about to say, how are you 90 hours in and haven't
leave
finished the
your
game
game
yet?
on?
Like, what the freak?
Let me explain. So the point is that there's a certain person in this podcast named Riku Sun 1. Right,
Oh my god, here we go, blaming it on me again.
I'm blaming shit on you. I'm just saying this, Riku. The fact of the matter is, I started playing this game and I realized there's something about Sky which pisses me off. You go through the story and you get to the end of a chapter and then you go to the guild and it tells you, oh, you've missed all of these bloody quests that you should have done. but it never explained to you how you were supposed to find these quests. Some of them, some of them are just like
hidden quests.
right.
Use a guide.
Yeah, user guide, right? So I'm supposed to enjoy this game by reusing a guide, right? At the end of the day, at some point I just gave up. At first I was restarting chapters, just trying to figure out, okay, how do I get this bloody thing on my own? And that shit wasn't working because I wasn't figuring it out. So at the end of the day, I just gave up and I was just like, look, you know what? I'm just gonna just miss quests and that's just how I'm gonna play the bloody game. Because this game is stupid, but I love it at the same time. But you know what? It's going good. So I'm not in something I was in. I'm gonna finish it soon, and then I'm gonna jump into Sky 2, and then blah blah blah, and then move through the rest.
Where are you at in the game?
Where am I at in the game?
Yeah, where are you at?
I'm about where they're rescuing this what do you call this guy? He's like a
Spoilers.
He's yeah, is it? Can I speak about it?
You can speak about it. Who cares?
No one cares.
No one cares about Sky 1.
Wow.
We're rescuing some professor guy. So
how far is that, Riku? Isn't that at Zos? I think
He's rescuing what?
He said he's rescuing.
I'm rescuing some kind of professor guy.
Oh yeah, that's like what? 50%?
Alright, I'm about 50% in. Yeah, say it ain't so. That's beautiful.
at 90 hours. But yeah,
No,
On a 40-hour game.
But keep in mind, I'm only like that because I've reset the game a couple of times trying to figure out why have I missed certain quests. I have given up now.
It's because you keep falling asleep.
I've been enjoying the game.
Ass.
No. I've literally given up on like getting all the quests. Like I've just given up. Like I tried doing, and to be honest, I tried using a guide, but it spoiled shit for me, and I was just like, screw this shit. Like I don't want a guide. It's spoiling shit for me. I can't figure out how to play. Riku said he was gonna accompany me for this ride and tell me where I needed to go without spoiling shit for me. But this boy Riku don't do that sometimes.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to Riku. He's gonna do that for every game. You got your work cut out for you. Because goddamn, he's gonna do that.
I've given up. I'm literally like, if I miss a quest, screw it. The one thing though, and this is the problem I find with Sky, is that don't show me that I've missed the quest. Just let me just assume that I've done everything. It's like an evil thing. It's showing you this red mark. Oh, you failed this shit. And they don't even say you missed it. They say failed. Like you're some kind of failure person.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you just go and talk to everybody in town, you should be able to get all the quests.
I have literally done that. I've done that. I have done that. I've talked to everyone in town.
I don't recall you having to go back, but the quests that are hidden are well hidden.
Oh, okay. Then all right.
Because some quests is like, oh, don't go to this place before you do this thing, and then like what? So I can't adventure across the game and at my own pace, however the frack I want to adventure. I have to follow a specific path.
Hidden quest, okay?
It's called old school JRPG goodness right there. Not holding your hand, telling you to go around and go do the shit. Yeah, like we knew back in our day. That was the good shit back then. All right. Anyway. You got until next year to finish this game. $1,000 is on the line. All right, you gotta finish all the games up to Reverie. I got faith in you, Q.
Not up to Reverie. No, your trails through Daybreak as well. That's the summer. That's the summer, and that's a part of it.
I gotta go back and look at the video. I thought it was up to Reverie.
We will have to revisit this. Riku.
Here's the thing, Roy. I remember it verbatim because I remember when the bet was going on. I was like, does that include Kudo as well? Because if Kudo comes out before 2024 is over, then that should count. But everyone just glazed over the fact that
you just introduced it.
No. I just asked a question because I was more focused on. First of all, I was confused by why Bao would make such a bet. But I was also focused on what he said verbatim. And what he said verbatim was get caught up with trails. He did not say up to Reverie. He said get caught up with trails.
So here's the thing. The last game is supposed to be out in summer 24, correct?
Summer 2024. That's when Trails.
Well, then that's
like July.
You know what?
Now I'll say this. I don't think Nayuta counts.
Yeah, I'm not playing that shit.
No, Naruto's not.
That's not part of the. That's
Actually, you
not part
gotta
of
get that. You gotta get that to Bao. Does Bao think Naruto counts? He's the one that
Yeah,
made the bet.
I would say that
This
one
is not how it
particularly.
works.
That one
We're talking-
particularly is up to Bao, but I personally don't think Naruto should count. But Kudo definitely counts.
Naruto will not count since it's not part of the main story.
All
Here's
right.
here's the thing. I've got a 1 month vacation coming up soon. I'm gonna
Actually, it's
power
funny
through
you
this.
say that, Blake. I just happen to scope out people like trying to tie McBurn of all people into Naruto.
The youth. Oh boy.
All right, so that's Q's bet. He's gonna keep playing. Hopefully, he gets it done. Else, he'll forever be indicted into Clown World.
No, never.
All right, we got some.
No, I'm not
supers.
finished. I'm not finished. I have
Oh.
also been playing something else.
Oh,
I've
no,
been
we
playing
don't even know about it. We just want to know
No,
about
it's important. It's important.
about
I've
Sky.
been playing
It's gonna be like
Pokemon
Fez or
Violet,
something.
and
my
that
gosh.
stuff is okay, right? I'm just saying I've accepted Violet is broken as shit, but I've accepted that it's okay at the same time. So just wanted to put that out there. All right, that's it. You can go now.
So about these super chats, we got a super chat from Cranberry. Here's the thing, right? Can I just send out the 100? I put up now.
Oh man.
Please do.
just don't super chat it, but I will not see it. Anyway, Ace Breaker with
Probably
the super chat
Cranberry.
as well, saying it's Joe over Q time to break the kids' piggy banks. Oh no!
Oh man. Hey, I don't know, Cranberry. You might wanna hold on to that for now. I don't know. Maybe Bao. I don't know. It's up to you, my guy.
Bao just lost his job, so if you want to, go right ahead.
Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah. Oh man, that sucks. All right, let's get on to our first topic here. We want to go since we were talking about trails. Do we want to go into Daybreak?
Might as well.
We're gonna say it then.
Might as well.
We're gonna say
Do we
Save
need
it.
to?
As long as we're not talking spoilers, I'm good.
We're talking trailers.
There's nothing to really spoil, really.
All right,
He's
go.
a
I mean,
Second
unless
then.
you want to say like, "Oh, I hope this character appears," but
Nah. We ain't spoiling shit. Ruin the game for me.
All right, let's go. Let's go to a game that everybody wants to go back to, that everybody has fond memories of, and loves it
no.
so much that it just RKO out of nowhere with the new content.
Aiden Kaitos.
Let's talk about Tales of Arise.
I'm gonna go grab some meal real quick. You guys got this? I'll be right back.
I can summarize my thoughts on this Arise DLC very shortly.
Uh,
I am not interested.
Wow.
I have no interest in going back to Arise. Also, I will say I would have been interested if they just showed off more in that trailer, but in terms of like costumes, graphics, battle system, everything looks the same as the base game, so I'm good.
So, Arise didn't captivate you enough to say, "Yo, I can't wait to get back into this world." What happened?
Exactly.
Oh wow, really? Oh man, you hate to see it. I guess I'm in the same boat as well. I have no desire to ever go back to Arise to do virtually anything. And this new DLC is like, okay, you could have came out like 6 months after the game came out. You could have came out a year after the game came out. Like, why did you wait until now to get this out? I don't know. It looks, I mean, I'll say it looks good, but it just looks like Tales of Arise, just like an extra quest. Like an extra quest line in Tales of Arise. So it's like, all right, cool.
I feel like the only way I could remotely be interested in this, and I think I was talking to Tarks or somebody on Twitter about this, and they were saying, I don't see why they wouldn't have this as an addition in there. But I mean, you could never know with these games nowadays. I was telling them, if this DLC comes with new arts that I can mess around with, like new mystic arts and whatnot, maybe I can see myself playing it. But if it doesn't, then it's definitely a 0%. But like right now, it's like I'm not gonna say it's 0% if those are in there, because some of the DLC arts were a blast to use, but obviously you have to pay for them.
Do you feel you're gonna have to play over this whole game again to just like get the feel of it again, or are you just gonna jump in and be like, "Yeah, I'm good"?
If you're talking in general or just Riku,
Riku,
general,
I'm talking for Riku, like to jump into this DLC, because he's saying like he'll do it for the new art. So like, are you gonna have to like relearn the whole game, or like by playing it all over again, or are you just gonna jump in and just like, "Yeah, I got this"?
I think if I played a couple of if I played a couple of encounters, I think I could get back into the group of it pretty quickly. I don't think the game had that big of a learning curve. So it's
It
like
does not. No Tales game really
it's
does.
like
Unless you like
swing,
start
swing,
at the
swing.
end game or something like
Yeah.
Vesperia. But that's
Rising
different.
Wyvern, swing, 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 stab.
Wow. Are we saying that Tails gameplay is basic? It's
No, I'm talking about Arise in particular.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's
All
what
right.
you do in Arise. You know?
So let's open up some old wounds about Arise. I mean, Bao already said that he wasn't that thrilled about Arise coming out when it first came out. Riku, do you still feel the same way about Arise? It wasn't.
Remember, I was never one of the people to have heavy slander for Arise. I fairly enjoyed myself. I let people know that I did not pay for the game. My friend paid for the game. I game shared it off him. So I was like, well, I'm going to pay for the game in some way. I'll give him some of my money some way. So I was the one out of us to pay for the DLC. So that's why I was able to use the DLC arts and realize that, holy shit, this really should have been in the main game because these are amazing. And obviously, I was able to make the CP system that was a big complaint before I used it feel like the way it probably should. So my experience with Arise was fairly enjoyable, right? I enjoyed it for the most part. So I wasn't one of those people.
I definitely remember you saying that you had complaints about the CP system and you said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna." What you activated the DLC or some shit like that, and you just
At first I was like, I bought the DLC arts first, but I didn't buy the CP system. And then when it started to piss me off, I was like, okay, I'm a try and see what I can do with this fucking CP shit because it's getting annoying.
Okay. So wait a minute. You said you fairly enjoyed Arise, right? So why isn't this like guaranteed? You said you need to see more on it.
Well, like I said, one of the main reasons I had a lot of fun was because of those DLC arts. So if I go in there and I'm still using the same arts and nothing really changed gameplay wise, I don't see myself. I don't want more of the same, right? Especially since it's been this long. That's not going to be enough. I don't give a fuck about the story enough to care what happens next in Arise. So that's not enough for me. So like, give me new arts, and at the bare minimum, you at least have a chance for me considering it. But like, the only reason it's even that low, additionally, is because y'all know I don't really be playing no fucking games nowadays, right?
Damn. Do you think that do you think the chances of you actually playing it would have went up, even feeling the same way you do right now, if it came out released like 6 months after Arise came out, or was already out when you were playing the game?
I definitely think it would have a higher chance.
Okay.
But like, as days go by, as days go by, my compulsion to want to play video games have been dwindling.
Oh boy.
If it ain't Trails, I'm just like not really that interested. I am looking forward to Spider-Man 2 though.
So chat, what do you guys think? Are you guys gonna go back to Tales of Arise if you played it? Get this brand new spanking DLC that's gonna cost how much they say it was gonna cost? $30, $20?
Yeah, that's 24 quid. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like 30.
$30 for this. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be getting this at all. Like if I get it on the high seas, maybe.
I'll say this.
Shadow in his high seas.
I'll say this. Shadow. If you were to get it, let's say it did come out and it doesn't have DLC art, I would say that this is your time to get the DLC arts and maybe grab that CP DLC.
See, the thing about that, it doesn't feel good to me to use any of that. It just further emphasize that this game was made with DLC in mind, and for you to enjoy it, you actually got to purchase DLC to get the most out of it. And it's just like that doesn't feel right. Like you're completely manipulating my experience with this, and I understand that you need money for the DLC so you can have your game have more longevity, but to interfere with the gameplay like this is just ridiculous.
But Shadow, have you not heard of the name Bandai Namco and the Lord and Savior DLC? I mean, this is kind of like their bread and butter. This is what they do, you know? I mean,
man,
you gotta accept. And also, it looks like from reading the game's like page for the DLC, it doesn't look like there are going to be any DLC arts. At least from what they've listed, there's nothing about arts. There's stuff about new story content. new dungeons, new outfits, blah blah blah, that kind of crap. But there's nothing about any art. So
I mean,
That's a problem in and of itself.
I mean, I don't really need the outfits. I got the mods, so I'm good with that. You know, the mods.
Like you say, there's nothing about new arts. If there is no new arts, period, then that's another like massive down. Because what the hell? I'm just
Like
replaying
how?
the same crap I already did.
They need to have.
there's a
I will say
Yes.
they need to have like, you know how Arise had, like, you know, the team attacks, the stuff like that. They need to have new variations of that or something like that.
Right,
In
and you
order to
think
get
they would
me
have
in
shown
there.
that in the trailer, but they showed the same ones from the base game.
The
which is another
same
reason
one.
I was turned off.
I was like, wait a minute, that's the same one. Kiara already used that one before. I'm like, what the fuck? You better have new ones in there. You took 3 years to make this shit, apparently. The hell? Or did you already have it in the oven and was like, you know what? The quarterly sales don't look this good. Let's read that Rise DLC to make sure this quarter is good in game sales or some bullshit. Anyway. So people in the chat, Acebreaker says, no, I'm skipping this DLC. I didn't like it. Not worth it from Nightwolf. The Phantom Killer, let's see. Oh, he didn't say anything. Dream Chaser says, I still need to play Arise. Okay. Yurha says, I'll get it. Okay, so he'll get it. Preston Stewart said, hell yeah, I love Arise. Oh man, we got all this Arise slander and we got somebody that actually loves it. Momo said no, not getting it. All right. Kevin Lewis, since I got the money for it, he'll grab it. Blue Grave, no, the end of the game really turned me off. Same here. When that second half started for the game, or last half started, I was like, you guys are talking too much. Shut the fuck up. Your little villain ain't shit. This fake ass Sephiroth motherfucker ain't shit. Like,
They really did hype him up though. They really tried.
Yeah, they tried.
That-
They tried hard.
like when he had a really good introduction. You gotta give him that.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He
fucked up
really
everybody.
changed the tone. Yeah, he changed the whole vibe and tone when he showed up. And then I guess they just dropped the ball on him.
Yeah, completely. Cute and funny fan said, I only get the DLC when it's free. Wink. Man, I might know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Cute and funny. Wink. Let me get the sales ready. Let me get the anchor ready too.
Hey, Shadow, you haven't asked me if I'm gonna get the DLC.
Blake, let me ask you a question, Blake.
Sure, anything, bro.
Let me make sure.
As someone who's never played a Tales of game, Blake.
let me ask you the very important question. This DLC that Arise has, are you gonna get it?
Well, see, I had no interest in Arise before I saw this DLC. This DLC looks amazing, chat. I can't even lie to you. This
Who the hell are
DLC
you
looks
and where
like
you going, Blake?
chat. Y'all know my stance on DLC. If it comes out way too late and I've already beaten the game, in Tales of Arise case, I just never had interest in Arise altogether. I just won't play it. Even sometimes I won't play the DLC, even if it's already packaged with the game. I don't know. I just have a weird thing with DLC. Most of the time I skip it.
I still feel like if Blake did play Arise, he would enjoy it.
I think so. I really liked Berseria.
I think you wouldn't like the characters in Arise. I think you'd like the gameplay.
I don't know. I could see him liking Law. I could see him liking.
Reminds me of Law.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah, Law.
Law
Definitely.
in ways reminds me of Sosuke. I don't know.
Lord?
I don't know if Blake would find him annoying or like him.
But the thing is, Law isn't toxic, so it's like.
Ooh, ouch. I mean, that's fine.
Yo.
Okay.
the
So
slander.
anyway, whenever I play Arise, I will probably not play the DLC. I just have a weird thing with, especially with RPG DLC. I just find it so hard to play.
Yeah, it's kind of
If you
hard to
do-
go back. Go ahead.
I'll say this, but if you do end up playing it, and you want the DLC arts, I have it on my account for you.
Oh, I do love free LC.
Lord?
Free LC.
One last piece of context for those that don't know is not the fact arts were DLC. It's the fact the best arts in the game were DLC.
Yep, the most
It's just
combo heavy,
scummy.
arts that you could use that are
They
broken.
are amazing.
You could easily do it.
Yeah, as someone who's used them, they are amazing.
It's sad. That whole game, man, it just left a sour taste in my mouth. I'm sorry.
You kind of have
Thank you,
to
though.
accept
If I,
that.
if I do play a Trails game in the near future, it's likely going to be Vesperia.
I mean, Tales of, but yes.
I would say
Did I say Trails? I meant Tales, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say if you're looking to jump into Arise now after not playing Arise like at launch, like most of us, I would say don't and just wait till like this is like a bundle and then
It
it's
is
like
a bundle already. They
No,
announced
but
that with
no.
more
What I'm saying-
DLC included.
What
too.
I'm saying, no, that's not what I mean. I mean a bundle with a significant discount because given a couple of years down the line, Bandai Namco is gonna have some special sale. It's probably gonna be an Eneba or Fanatical or wherever. It's gonna be Humble Bundle, frack and shit, and you're gonna be able to grab this for like I don't know, 20 quid or something for like this with the DLC and everything like
This
that.
fucking quid. Like people know what the hell that is.
I know, right? He's talking like we're a British podcast in it.
He said edit.
You don't know what no fucking quid is, nigga. That shit sound like a goddamn first evolution Pokemon. Go quid. Like what the fuck? Get that shit out here.
Yeah, man. Say it right. Say the only currency that matters is North America currency out here. All right, man. We don't care about quid.
You guys are brilliant. But okay, let's put it this way. Like, let's say $20 for you guys.
There you go. That felt good, didn't it? That felt good. Yeah.
And saying
not
in Canadian buckaroos.
That's another thing. Q. That's another thing. If you do another stream of Sky, make sure you say $1,000. Don't say 1,000 quid. Nobody's gonna know what that
I'm
is.
pretty sure Baldur specifically said 1,000.
You're better off saying 1,000 lira.
No, Rico and I agreed. Bao and I agreed to 1,000.
Yeah, it was quid, which is more than 1,000.
That is,
Which is-
they did agree to 1,000.
We did agree at 1,000 quid, not $1,000.
Okay, no, I'm talking about that's fine. Like you guys know what the agreement is. I'm talking about to get visibility on your stream.
Oh, yeah.
Saying
For
quid,
those that don't know, 1,000 quid is almost $1,300.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 1,000 pounds. Some people say pounds, some people say quid. It's interchangeable, you know.
Anyway,
In pounds.
back to our rise.
Back on topic.
Back to our rise.
It's gonna be cheap at some point. Grab it when it's that point. You don't need it now if you haven't played it yet. That's the
$30
point
not
I'm trying to
cheap.
make.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
No, I don't actually think $30 songs cheap. I think $20 songs. That sounds like a 25, 20. I think that's the price range. I would jump in if I hadn't gotten it already. But
Yeah, I think 25 is good for that game.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to a Nintendo Direct RPG that was debuted on the latest Nintendo Direct.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it.
The greatness that is Vanillaware has graced us with their presence, with their amazing artwork. Yet again, like every time I see a Vanillaware game, I'm like, God damn, I need to see Dragon's Crown Witch. I mean, I need to see the greatness that is the style of Vanillaware back. I gotta be honest, Unicorn Overlord, I do not care for the name. It sounds like it's bad.
That name ass.
Yeah, it sounds like a name that Square Enix would have gave one of their games. Like Unicorn, what the fuck is that? Like, I gotta tell people, yo, what you playing, Shadow? Man, listen, man, I'm playing this game called Unicorn Overlord. Unicorn, what, nigga? What kind of? Anyway, what you think about this game, man?
I am very excited for this game. I just need to see more like of the gameplay mechanics themselves. So on paper, everything about this screams a Bao game. Vanillaware art style I adore. It has that medieval, super serious tone. It has a tactical gameplay. Everything about this is just yes, and I hope it's freaking amazing. I was kind of tempted to get the collector's edition, but I think I'll stick with the main game. But yeah, once I see more gameplay, and the gameplay mechanics are going into this, there's a good chance this is one of my most anticipated games of 2024.
Oh wow! Okay, one of your most anticipated games.
Yeah.
Anybody else got interest in this game?
I'm interested.
No.
Like the art style looks great.
I've only played one Vanillaware game in my life.
And that was
Muramasa.
Because it was on the Vita.
Of course.
Yeah. And it was.
I didn't even know Muramasa was Vanillaware, to be honest. So I guess I've played two. I was thinking Queen's. Was it Dragon's Crown? So I did Dragon's Crown.
That's the one I should have played.
Yeah, that's the one you should have played. Yeah.
Muramasa just looked cool, okay? And,
exactly.
I like me some samurais and whatnot, and people are like, oh my god,
on
that's
the
amazing
Vita.
logos. And then you get in there and you're like, what the it's okay. Everyone was saying it was like a 9 or a 10. It was more like a low 8, high 7. So I was just kind of disappointed, a little bit turned off by Vanillaware. Maybe I should give their games another try. People say good things about what's the one mech game?
13 Sentinels.
Oh yeah, 13
Sentinels. Not that one. Dragon's Crown.
Lord?
That's the one.
13 Sentinels is phenomenal, sir.
I could see myself messing around with that one.
It is absolutely the best
Sensual
6 out of 10 I've ever played.
You said what?
It
Don't
is the
listen to
best
Blake.
6 out of 10 I've ever played.
Crazy.
Jesus, 6 out of 10.
He gives it a 6 out of 10 because Blake doesn't like reading.
Lord?
It's fully voiced. What do you mean?
He plays SRW.
Oh,
That's
Yeah, that too.
different.
What do you mean that's different?
You said yourself is different. Don't say it like I'm acting crazy.
my
I just
God.
didn't like the virtual novel aspects of it, running up and down a hallway,
See?
trying to talk to people.
Yeah, I got a lot. That kind of like put me off about. Well, not that.
Remember,
Not that.
the gameplay for 13 Sentinels, I spent at least 8 hours in the endless mode.
See,
That gameplay
that's
is
what
so
most
fun.
people don't care for. People don't care for the gameplay aspect.
Well, I'm not a virtual visual novel reading motherfucker, alright? I need my gameplay before my reading, okay?
Exactly. That's the whole thing that like made me stop playing the game. Is like I gotta read more than I actually play the game. So I'm like, I'm good for now. But yeah, Vanillaware always comes with the hits. I don't think there's anything that's really bad from them. I mean, besides Blake thinking 13 Sentinels is not that great, but like they always hit.
Hey,
For
I
the
didn't
most
say it was
part.
that great. I still liked it.
Okay, yeah. See, so the most vanilla games always hit. So I expect this one to be good. I thought this was I forgot what the game was called. Grand Knight's History. Didn't they do? Wasn't that from Vanillaware as well? That's a
Not
I don't even
familiar
know. I
with the
don't know
name.
nothing about that game.
that was There was one of the games that didn't come overseas on the PSP, I believe. But that one's actually a really good game too. It never came overseas. Hold on, let me look this up.
And like 13 Sentinels, I feel like I need to play this game to actually figure out if I like it or not. Just because when you look at the gameplay, it's hard to figure out what the fuck is going on. I don't know. Like, I was looking at this gameplay, I've seen so many different things happen. Like, it looks like Fire Emblem, but it looks like Project Cross Zone, but now it looks like Cooking Mama. Now you're mine. I don't know what the game is going to play like. And I just need to feel it for myself before I know if I'll like it or not.
Yeah, it was Grand Knight's History that was on the PSP. Never came overseas because it was right in the middle of the PSP, just being the pirater's paradise. So we didn't get anything from that. But yeah, everything.
When I first saw this game, I thought it looked like Grand Kingdom to me.
Oh yeah, Grand
Everyone
Kingdom,
keeps
that's
saying
another one.
Tactics
Yeah,
Ogre for the go-to game they think this looks like.
I don't know.
Yeah,
how
the
they say
gameplay.
that.
Yeah, gameplay wise, this game reminded me of Grand Kingdom, so I was just like,
I forgot about that game. Honestly, did that game come out the PC? Is that Vanillaware as well? No, it's not Vanillaware.
It looks like it's trying to be vanilla.
Yeah.
But it's off.
It's trying really hard. Yeah, it's only on PS4 and Vita. Yeah, that's forever gonna stay there. Yeah, this game looks really good. Like it basically like it's gonna be like a tactical game for the most part. Maybe you have some other systems in there, but for the most part, it's gonna be like a strategy tactical game. So, the sprites look amazing. Looking for that one design that everybody's gonna go crazy over. Because if you guys remember back in the day, Dragon's Crown, the witch got hit with some controversy because her boobs were just way too huge, but. It is what it is, but we're in 2023 now, so we'll see what happens.
I don't think that's. Gonna
We're in
be the thing in this.
2023, so it's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
Two different art directions. I don't think that's gonna even remotely happen here.
Well, we shall see. You never know. People always looking for something to talk about, something to X about, something to make an article about. Yeah, I've said X, not Twitter. Yeah, that's right. I'm with it. I'm with the X. Yeah.
Really shouldn't.
As you know, the biggest offense we have on the internet these days is anime titties, so that will be a problem.
Yeah, this game is still day one for me. I just hate the name Unicorn Overlord. You could have called it like Tactics Overlord or something like that. That would have been better. Goddamn Unicorn. What the hell is Unicorn about this guy? You know what? I'm gonna play it anyway.
I mean, we haven't.
All I'm
played the
gonna
game
say
yet. We
is
don't
that
know.
over time, unicorns have become one of my favorite mythological creatures.
Fruity as hell creatures.
Lord?
Let's move on to another game. Let's see. Let's talk about Persona 3. Persona 3 got a litany of information behind it in the past couple of weeks. First off, it's coming to Xbox. I think, was it always coming to Xbox, or did they just announce it?
Yeah, no, they
it
announced
was
it at the
always
Xbox
It was announced
presentation.
at the thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's a fairly new thing that's coming to Xbox as well.
Game Pass day one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
boy.
Oh, easy money. So we still believe in this game, that this is one of the quote unquote best personas out there. It's the gateway persona. We'll see if it's going to be as amazing as they say it is. What are we thinking? This game's gonna be $70, right? Yeah, we know it's gonna be $70.
Of course.
I already got my collector's edition pre-ordered.
You've got a pre-order and you've got Game Pass. What is wrong with you, Blake?
Hey, man,
Yeah, I can't put Game Pass on my PlayStation 5 queue.
He wants that P3 Platinum.
Absolutely.
Homelessness.
Man. So what do we think the effect that this game is going to have on the Persona fan base, the series moving forward? Is it going to put 3 on the map? Is it going to do anything? Do we think? What are we thinking here?
No idea. I feel, well, one thing, this comes out in the middle of like 10 other games, so I feel like the impact may be affected by that. Not small games either, so.
What else is coming out wrong?
Everything.
Everything.
Like literally everything.
Let me get the infographic. It'll be a minute.
Just for starters, it's launching next to Grand Blue, provided Grand Blue doesn't get delayed. It's launching next to Tekken 8.
Jesus.
What else is coming out? Bao's got the list. There's so much. That new Ace Attorney trilogy as well is coming out in January.
I think something's going on in that year. Like this must be like the end of a physical year or something like that. That they need to get games out or something for various companies. But yeah, this game is looking pretty good. New attack skills, new fresh and user interface. Can somebody tell me a little bit more about this rewind feature?
So real quick, the list of games coming out in the span of like 1 week.
Okay.
Under Night in Birth, or whatever the new one is called, Tekken 8, Yakuza 8, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Persona 3 Overlord, or Reload, I don't know why I said Overlord, Reload, Suicide Squad, Ace Attorney Collection, and I think in the following week after that, there's a couple of other games as well in February. Also,
Rebirth comes out at the end of February.
Lord. But yeah, this is a whole bunch of games coming out around that time. But I'm only gonna focus on Persona. So yeah, the rewind feature that this game is gonna have, is that what it's called? Rewind, or
is it called like rollback?
Rollback. Oh yeah, rollback mode. It literally just lets you go to a previous calendar date and spark some controversy.
I thought it was
the previous calendar date.
I thought it was like a battle thing, like a battle mechanic.
No,
I thought you could rewind in battle.
No, it goes to a previous
Didn't they
calendar
confirm
date.
you could do that? You could rewind the turn?
I don't know about turn.
I thought it was turn. I thought I saw the trailer real quick.
I'm gonna go searching for this because I swear someone said you could rewind the turns.
Persona 3 Reload. Yeah, because
we're gonna have to fact check here.
Wait, why would that make sense? It's a menu option.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was like in battle.
I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean a battle thing? It's a literal menu option.
So this is basically to sort of like make the game easier. Is it like an easy mode option?
No, I'm assuming it's for like
net.
people. I'm assuming it's for like people who made a mistake on a previous calendar date and they want to, go back and fix that. Because I remember that was one of my irks about Persona 3 Golden when I was going for the platinum, and you have to max out everyone's little friendship thing, and that game is strict as fucked when it comes to making sure all of the shit is maxed out before the end of the game. You make one
you
fucking
say
wrong
that,
move.
Riku, Persona 3 was worse. 3 was a lot more lenient, funny enough. I mean, 4 was a lot more lenient than 3.
Well, if that's the case, then
what?
them adding that to this game, if it's as strict as you say, then I would say is a welcoming feature.
It's not going to be as strict anymore.
Yeah, they're probably going to use
modernizing the hell out of it.
Yeah.
They're
You're
gonna
gonna be able
to
to throw darts with your friend and get 6 hearts with them.
Nonetheless, it's still a good feature for someone. Let's say it is someone who's casually playing, but they also would like to try and max all of the stuff up, but they're not too worried about it. And then they reach to the end of the game, they're like, "Oh shit! If I just did this tiny little thing, I could have gotten it." Then I could see that coming in handy for that specific situation.
My opinion is I don't care because I just won't use it. But I saw a lot of people arguing about it, and apparently, I didn't know this was a thing. Apparently, it's just commonplace in the Persona community to make an asshole to saves and rewind anyways, which I've never done that, but
True.
Power to
People
you.
do make a ridiculous amount of saves and just reload it anyway. That is true.
To me, that defeats the purpose in Persona in particular, because the calendar date is there for a reason. So I just wouldn't want to do that.
It ruins the experience, isn't it?
You say calendar date is there for a reason. Explain the reason.
It's about your decisions and
yeah, your decisions, they matter.
Your
how you spend your days.
Well, they said they said there's a limit to how much you can roll back, so you can't just save scum it. Like, you know,
I've really never had an issue with my decisions on my days. Outside of the first time I played 3.
Oh, I think it only matters to people who are trying to like get the platinum or something like that.
I'm the guy that makes like 20 save files per playthrough.
Yeah, I don't see why anyone who isn't isn't trying to get the platinum would care about maxing out all of the friendship things, because like outside of
Persona 5, some people want to just do it for the fun of it because you're playing the game and you want to
actually wasn't it 3 and 4? Isn't that how you get the ultimate personas?
I don't think that's the case in 4. I mean, when you max out the character in particular, but like I said, max out all of the bonds. So like characters like
isn't that how you get Izanagi Okami, or am I misremembering that?
No, like I'm saying, I think
the point is Riku, is that like when I did Persona 4 Golden, I didn't care for like a platinum. Like I wasn't playing for a platinum, but I wanted the bonds because I was playing for the story. And in the story, in my head canon, I was like, look, if I create all these bonds with all these characters, I'm gonna have an exceptional ending to the game that I want. So it was for me.
The thing about that, Q, is I'm not saying people like you don't exist. I'm saying people like you are. If we had to take categories and put the type of people who play Persona into categories, and there's the regular player, there's the people going for the platinum, and then there's people like you, your category is definitely the smallest of the bunch.
Really?
So you're saying it's just like the same people who complained about Tales games not having co-op. Got it.
Oof. See, that's on Shadow, because Shadow, that y'all gonna have to get him for that. I ain't saying anything about that.
But it's pretty much the same purpose. Anyway, so yeah, this rollbacks feature, just like you can go back a calendar day, it looks like, to redo some decisions if you want. But yeah, you can just load a game back, because like, I don't know about you guys, but like if a game has like 100 save slots, I'm using them all.
Yes, sir. As you should.
And not to say that I'm actually using them. It's just that when I go to save, I just make a new slot every time.
You should.
I don't do that. I use the same one
every single time. You should see like my PC East loading files that I got. It's just like 150 files, and there's no difference between them. Every time I save, I create a new save. Whatever.
I'm with Bao. There's only certain games that I do multiple slots. Like I started doing it with Trails in the Sky, because I was trying to like figure out like why am I failing all these quests. But after I gave up, like I'm just using the same save slot. I don't give a shit anymore.
There's only one game that comes to memory I've done that for, is because it's an actual unforgiving game where you can really get stuck if you like just made bad choices, and that's Tactics Ogre. But I wouldn't do it for like a regular game.
Yeah, I don't do it for that reason. The reason I do it is because I'm petrified that something's going to happen to my save file, like it's going to get corrupted, or you can't load this save file for one reason or another. So I have always been like that. If there's multiple save files I can use, I will use them.
Okay. So everybody's getting the deluxe edition of this game besides Blake?
No.
Besides me, I'm not getting that deluxe edition. I don't
even know if I'm getting the game.
You better be playing this game.
So let's try to put this to bed once and before it comes out, but I'm sure we're going to talk about it again.
Boy, I know what he's going to say.
Do we think that there's going to be a Persona 3 Golden, Persona 3 Royal, Persona 3 Silver that comes out along the lines at some point?
I am 100% certain that at the end of the day, right, Atlas is going to find a way to make it happen, because if this game sells, especially if this game sells well, yes, there's going to be one.
Yeah, like I was saying before the podcast, so like I look at this from a business standpoint. I'm like, what's the disadvantage if I'm Atlas to bring out a complete royal golden version?
Exactly.
Well, what's the downside?
Twice.
like they're gonna complain. Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna bitch and complain. But you know what else they're gonna do? They're gonna take out their wallets
You
then
say
give me
this, so
$70.
that'll be the third version of Persona 3 in a 5-year time span.
Okay, good, cool story.
I don't think people are going to buy that as much as you think they would.
So you're saying basically, right? Because that's you're thinking about it in that way. That's like saying like the Pokemon company is gonna actually put effort into making their games. People are gonna buy it anyway.
No, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. This is the equivalent of the Pokemon company making a hard gold and then releasing a hard gold ultra. They wouldn't do that. It makes no sense.
Yeah, but the Pokemon company, their model, their business model isn't on doing something like that. But
Wait. Why wouldn't they do that?
Is on that.
Why would you think that wouldn't sell?
It's already the definitive edition.
It's Pokemon.
Exactly. It's the definitive edition already. Why do you want another?
Why would you make a definitive
I'm
edition?
saying Persona 3, this Persona 3 that they're making, this remake, is not the definitive edition. Like fans of the series already know that there's more content that's missing from it already. They know that there's more content missing from it already, and they know that they can sell it later. They can say, hey, you know what? We decided we want to revisit the game and change a couple aspects of it. Blah blah blah. They can give you all kind of reasons. Fans will complain and they'll still pay.
I would give you this if they didn't state already in the interviews that this is just what they want to make.
And
for
you're telling
a
me
definitive Persona 3.
You're telling me they'll never change that. Like, you trust Atlas with
not in the next 3 years, like the way
also,
you guys think
keep in mind as well, they need at some point to move on. And are they going to keep putting more resources into something that Persona 6 would sell more than a Persona 3 remake, reload, whatever?
Yeah, but they could put up Persona 6 and then put out that whatever Persona 3 whatever thing after. Like,
at that point, they probably move on to 4 or 1 or 2, whatever.
Again, you would think so, but like right now,
the most I can see them doing is, because there's no Switch version announced yet. Whenever they bring it to the Switch, they might, I don't know, add like you have your main character looks like Marth. I don't fucking know. Like they might throw some random Nintendo collab in there, but I do not think they're going to put more resources and more assets into, especially because if they make another version of this game, the answer is a whole nother game pretty much. So
no, it's an add-on game.
Much more money.
In the fine words of Shadow, Atlas gonna Atlas, man. Like,
that's what I'm thinking. Like, we've seen this company. I didn't even see them doing all the DLC bullshit that they did with Persona 5 because I had on Persona 5 goggles and I just couldn't see anything wrong with the game. But they were doing some
5 copies.
Yeah, exactly. And I brought all the DLC. But they be doing some real scummy stuff in the past. I don't see why they would look at that and say, could we add a version that has the answer and the female protagonist too, and sell that at $70 in about 2 years? Yeah, Persona 6 can wait another 2 or 3 years. We can put this out too.
In 2 years, that's just insane.
Yeah, when did Royal come out? Did Royal come out like what, 3 years afterwards?
Once again, you can't compare Royal to this. This is not the same situation.
Okay, Bob, let me ask you a simple question. If they do exactly what we think they're gonna do, right? Is it not gonna make Atlas money or not? If it's not gonna make money, then it makes sense what you're saying that they won't do it. But
I don't know, because that's a lot of resources to put.
I'm just saying,
they have the engine made.
Exactly. Do you not think they have the engine and they already have the story?
I think you guys seriously underestimate what goes into developing a game. I've developed a very simple game before. It is a nightmare. It's not I have the engine. Let's just put this, and this. It's not that simple.
You got the engine. You got the character models. Of this magnitude. You got the attack animations. Like, I don't. Okay, all right, I'll take your word for that, Bob. But hey. It can't be as much as making this the first time around.
You're saying that they're not going to do it because it's just going to cost them too much. It will cost them less to just make a whole new game, write a whole new script, even though Hollywood is going through that whole writer's strike thing.
Persona 6 is already in development. That's pretty much a given. It's not like just going to start now.
Yeah, but I still think...
Yeah, but they can still hold it off for like other years and other quarters. Like, it doesn't have to come out. Like, it could be done right now. They could just be like, we want to reveal this in 2025. We don't want to reveal it right now. Like,
does it cost more to actually work on like a Persona 3 Royal or whatever the frack you want to call it, or does it cost more to work on Persona 6? Which one is more cost effective to them?
Considering a new version of Persona 3 wouldn't sell as well. That's a very risky business.
So here it is. It wouldn't sell as well as what you say. Okay.
That's my whole point. What do you mean?
It's not gonna.
That's my whole argument, Q. What do you mean, aha? There's no aha moment. That's what I've been saying the whole time.
This motherfucking Q been waffling the whole time.
My question was, do you think it's not gonna sell? That's why I asked you. And you spent a long time explaining yourself without saying, yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna sell well. So now that you've explained it to me, now I know Bao thinks this game is not gonna sell well.
What?
Yeah?
For context check, Q has gotten into
what?
the wine. He's not himself tonight.
So yeah, Bao's strongly against it. Me and Q are
Reasonable people.
Yeah, we're thinking that Atlas might be completely greedy here, which they have been greedy in the past.
If you think Atlas is gonna milk it, I think they're gonna milk it a different way. We might get a Persona 3 Strikers or a Persona 3 Dancing 2, but they're not going to do another Persona 3 carbon copy.
I would say they could probably do like a DLC, maybe they'll do a DLC. But
I think they would do all of the above.
DLC.
I think Atlas being Atlas, I think they would do all three. And they would be happy with it, especially because they know people die.
Get him out. No, all right, he's just gonna talk now. Okay,
you seriously believe that's 0% chance? Not even. Okay, I'm just putting it this way, right? Even if you think the odds of it happening are a bit low or whatever have you, or unlikely, the odds of it happening, Atlas being Atlas, you think there's 0% chance they actually do this?
Considering they've already milked Persona 3 in the 2000s, I don't think they're gonna be able to milk it again as heavy.
I mean,
like a remake, sure, but these characters have already been overused. I mean, especially with the Q games.
This is the same company that's been reusing the same DLC for like countless games, same outfits, same personas. Like, come on now, like, you really think they're not gonna save some money or actually find an easy way to make easy money? I don't know. I'd say the chances is about 70%. Especially when we get this game and it's just purely Persona 3 and there's no answer, there's no a hint of portable content in here as well. There's gonna be some room for something that Atlas to do probably next year or the year after. Just my take on it. We'll see. Only time will tell. So Riku, you either got a choice. You could buy this game day one, or you can wait like a year. Up to you.
Don't give him more time, bro. I'm about to just scroll the whole back of this motherfucker, bro. Just play the damn game.
I think that I will wait
Because Riku
seems like 2024.
He was the motherfucker. We're all like, play Persona 3. Nah, they remake the game. Nah, I don't want it. I don't want it. Why'd you ask for it? He's like that stupid kid in SpongeBob. Then why did you ask for it?
So wait, they already confirmed that there's FES and portable content. All right,
if I did not believe that there was going to be a new version, which there seems to be doubt, because this is Atlas making PlayStation 5 versions of fucking Persona 5 Royal. Even though there's a Cold Steel 3 and 4 PlayStation
I was
5
just about to say that. I was like, did they just announce 3 and 4 PS5?
We just gotta pretend that didn't happen, right?
Anyway, going back to Atlas slander, because that's what I'm here for. Let's go.
Atlas ass eaters? Wait, what? Huh? Go ahead.
You Atlas eaters out there.
Oh man.
Persona 3 Silver comes out, your boy will buy it day one. Okay, but until then, we wait until 2025.
Look, just take that with a grain of salt. Persona 3 Silver comes out with Zigzagoon, and he probably may not pick it up anyway.
Lord?
Oh man, Pokemon DLC.
Riku's word these days mean nothing, bro.
I'm just saying, this man told me if Zigzagoon is in Pokemon, I'm gonna buy it. And then
this is more emotional than a woman, bro. I tell you.
Yeesh.
Crazy.
We got
a super chat from Cranberry. As a small developer, I agree with Bao. Do not underestimate how much work goes into making a game.
That's true.
That is true. I think this has been in development since 2020, I think.
Okay. But it's not going to take that long. But is it going to take that long to make a game that, like we said, already has the engine, already has the character models, or it's got the attack animations?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, aren't they still using Persona 5's attack animation? So the engine's been made for a lot longer.
Are they using Persona 5 attack animations?
Looks like it.
Looks like it.
I didn't see like all the attack animations I saw looked like was pretty new. I'm talking about like the team attacks or the special attacks and stuff like that. That stuff is already in there.
Well, they're not
So-
copies. More like their bone movements are very similar.
Okay. Okay. Hey man, we'll see what Atlas does. Either way, for me personally, I want to be there day one for either. So
As you should.
it is what it is. But yeah, is anybody else tired of the DLC practices that Atlas does with like the same DLC across the board? Persona 5 outfits, Persona 2 outfits, Persona 3 DL music. Like, isn't it the same shit?
Yeah.
It's popular.
Like for Persona 5, when I was playing Royal, I was like, okay, I already played through 5. Like, okay, I can use some of the music DLC. That's cool. But for Persona 3, no, I want to use all the original content like that's in the game. I'm not picking up any of this DLC. None of these costumes like appeal to me at all.
Yeah, it pissed me off in Soul Hackers too that it was the same outfits, same music. I was like, come on, dude. Like, well, when are you guys gonna add something else? Like, again, where are the dancing outfits? There's a whole bunch of outfits in 3 and 4 dancing. Like, why aren't we using those? I don't know. I'm gladly paid the money.
I forgot Soul Hackers existed.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. That game was a disappointment.
It's in Game Pass, by the way, so if you want to pick it up for free, people.
Oh, yeah. That's a good price to get it for.
Pick it up for free and playing Game Pass doesn't cost money.
All right, so is that everything on Persona 3 Portable that we want to go into? This is day one for everybody here, right? Except for Riku?
It's a Game Pass one for everyone.
Okay. The Game Pass. Man, Microsoft and Game Pass, I swear to God. Oh, yeah, didn't Phil Spencer say that it's not sustainable? Or was it Phil Spencer?
So we could segue now into the massive fucking Xbox leak. Biggest leak in gaming history.
Let's go. Let's continue with the JRPG stuff before we get to that stuff. Let's move. Let's segue over to the best Final Fantasy being, the remake.
16? Strangers of Paradise. That's right.
6
Oh
is not
my.
being remade, to my knowledge.
You know what, Bob? I'll give you that. I'll definitely give you that. 6 is that game too. Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming soon to a PS5 near you in March, or is it late February?
February 28th, I think. So end of the month.
End of the month. Okay, so
So y'all JRPG fans got a month to play Persona 3 Reload and Grand Blue.
Yeah, people are gonna completely forget about Grand Blue. Grand Blue is stupid. Anyway,
I'm telling you, bro. They need to delay it another 2 months just so that it comes out at a decent time I can play it.
Why are you disrespecting Grand Blue? What does Grand Blue do to you?
Because I can't. Because when it comes to Final Fantasy and Persona 3, Grand Blue is getting the back burner. I'm sorry.
fucking Grand Blue took 10 years to come out. All right, I'm tired of that game. Now I come out in a fucking crowd.
Final Fantasy VII remake take
Sosuke is
13
trying to
years.
convince me that Grand Blue will be fine next to all these other releases, which I think he's crazy. But
Wait, what did he say? It will be fine. It will be fine.
next to Persona,
No.
Yakuza, and
No.
FF7 Rebirth.
Oh my god!
I think that game is down arrival in terms of sales, which saddens
Oh,
me.
absolutely. People will say, "Oh, the Grand Blue mobile game makes this much." I don't think it's that popular
That's
to
a mobile
outshine.
game, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that mobage.
I don't think that this IP is so popular to outshine Final Fantasy, to outshine even Yakuza. I don't think it has that kind of pull. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looks to be covering a lot. It seems. It's definitely going to be a 3-parter, but there's still a lot of stuff that they don't cover. But seeing what they're going to get to in this is going to be very, very interesting. It seems
They actually revealed it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they said it's going up to what was that? I think
Temple of
around the
the
Ancients. Yes, around there. But
Wow,
he did clarify that events will not be in the same order. So
Yeah, he also said Wutai will not be in this yet. So Wutai is going to be in the next game.
and despite the
right.
fact Vincent is in the trailer, he's not playable. He's like Red 13 in part 1.
Really?
He's just a
Okay.
guest character, technically, I guess. Yeah.
That's fair enough, I guess. But yeah, the game is looking absolutely phenomenal. Like, holy crap. We all complained when Remake came out that, it's going to be 3 parts. But you see how detailed this shit looks and how awesome it looks. It had to be 3
I'm not
parts.
feeling it, honestly.
Oh, wow. Speak on it, man. Get your slander out. Get your slander out, my guy.
That's the crazy thing. I'm not even sure why. Like, I like 7. I just don't love it. But
Oof.
I don't know, just seeing the remake just does not interest me. And part of it does have to deal with the fact that I want a whole package. I don't want to play these games in segments over the course of a decade. But
I think
also,
I'm feeling that.
I don't know, it's just really not interesting me for some reason. Like, I'd rather go back and play like the original 7 over this, which is weird.
Interesting. I don't blame you for that one. The original 7 is still magic. But yeah, all the improvements that this one's gonna make, the team attacks, the graphics, the story. Is this like, have they confirmed that Zack is like alive, or is this just like the flashback?
I won't say
haven't
anything
spoken
because
on it.
Blake is still playing.
Yeah, that
part
too.
one.
Oh, my bad.
We do know the answer to that. I just won't say anything.
Blake, cover your ears.
Sorry.
This man wants to know.
Spoilers on it. Bro, think of the chat. Think of the chat.
The chat would be alright. They'll be cool. They don't mind Final Fantasy spoilers.
It's like kids when something naughty comes on the telly. Cover your eyes, son. You don't need to see this.
But nah, this is definitely absolute day one. Well, I can't spoil it now because of Blake.
I'll go take a shit. Don't think I won't.
Yeah, go take a shit, man. Go take a shit.
All right, you know what? Yo, Val, you're on super chat, dude. I'm gonna go dump my load.
There's no way.
So like, you know, all the changes that they've made with not all the changes, but like they left the door open to big changes, right?
All right.
So we know that Zack is what, alive?
Yep.
Okay, Zack is definitely alive. Bob, I know you said you don't care for this game, but how does that make you feel that a major character like Zack is all of a sudden alive?
As it stands now, since I haven't seen the payoff, I don't like it. But for all I know, they could have some big grand plan. I still think they're going to not kill off you know who in this.
Oh, come on. They have to. Like, that's the whole point.
See, you think that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I would say the chance of that happening is around like they don't kill off this character about 30%, but it's the chance is still there that they might do something stupid.
Because teenage me, when I played it initially, would have loved it. Would have been like, yes, she's alive. I can get back all my bloody material that she stole, bitch. But adult me, whose experiences I realized that it actually, like, it was emotional, and I like the emotions that it made me feel, at least to a certain extent. I kind of don't want it to be ruined. I feel like it does.
It also just goes against the themes of the game, which is that death is inevitable.
Exactly.
That is true. So they could do something stupid. Or what if another character takes this character's place?
I've seen a lot of people saying it'll be Tifa, actually.
I swear to God, if they did that.
Because specifically,
because then they would be creating what Final Fantasy VII did again in the first place, but in a new way.
I've seen a lot.
Remember,
of
there were a lot of
going
Aerith
around,
fans back
like
in the day.
specifically the ending song.
There was a lot of Aerith
remake
songs.
has like a meaning behind. People are still trying to like decipher. Like people think it's from Cloud's perspective, talking about someone, etc., and they think, oh, maybe there's a new timeline where Tifa dies, but we'll see.
I'm just saying,
I'm actually down for that. If Tifa dies, let's go.
You don't like Tifa.
No,
I'm just saying it would shock. It would. Here's the thing, Roy. When it comes to the biggest character death in gaming, like Aerith is the one that people talk about, and Final Fantasy VII did that. It broke and hurt people. Even if you probably didn't like Aerith, or if you did, and you didn't know that she was gonna die, apparently you were hurt and scarred, and you respect Final Fantasy VII for being as ballsy as they did to do such a thing. The only way they can top that is by doing it again. And the only way they can top that and do it again is to choose a female character in Final Fantasy that is loved more than Aerith.
No.
And there's only one.
So that's the question. Why does it have to be a female character? This is sexist. You could kill off Kid 6 and it would be fine.
No one will care if Aerith dies.
Y'all know it's not gonna have the impact. There's a lot of little girls out there that like them some What's the
Ain't nobody crying over Kate Sif. Red 13.
That's
you think people care if Barry dies like that?
Hey man, Black Lives Matter, Barrett, man, come on.
Keep it real. Let's keep it.
Kids,
Barrett, like, it's still not gonna hit if it's Barrett. We all know The only character
it's gonna hit.
we know it's gonna hit with is if it's Tifa. No character comes close to giving the people an impact.
I would never
Stop
happen.
putting that bad energy out there. Stop putting that bad juju out there, man. Like
It
seriously.
better not happen.
This will be my game of the year of 2024.
Tifa will live.
If they kill off Tifa above Trails through Daybreak.
Lord.
If they kill off Tifa, y'all got it.
Nah,
Keep in mind, that's likely not going to happen until part 3.
let it be.
No,
If it happens at all.
They could end this game on that note if they wanted to.
I would say they should.
That'd be
actually.
wild.
I just don't think they will.
If they did do that, they would probably hurt the sales of the third game. What do you mean Tifa dies in part 2 and she's not going to be there for part 3? I'm not kidding. That would actually probably be a bad thing to do.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna sell the high seas if that happens for part 3.
See?
Yo.
Shadow's already saying it. They ended this game with Tifa getting stabbed in the back. He's probably not going to support part 3.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man. I don't appreciate this. I don't want it to happen, and it better not happen. Oh, what about Yuffie? Could that be
That wouldn't be as impactful.
No, Shadow.
No, just to kill all them waifus. Just
not?
go after Kid Sith. It's a perfect kill off. You know, we'll kill. We will. I'll pretend
What's
to.
the point of killing off a character if it's not going to have impact?
Then I'll pretend to care, and it'll be fine. Because I didn't even put any material on Kid
It's
Sith.
so irrelevant.
I didn't
He's
care.
dead anyway.
He was
That's the
never in
thing.
my party. So the point of the
And
matter
that's
is
what I'm
kill
saying.
him.
It's like, no.
Yeah, but I want the waifus in my party, so screw that shit. No, we can kill none of the waifus.
I feel like
Let them
Q,
live.
you just go out the window with logic when it comes to just like female characters. Like, goddamn, like you don't understand the story references or the story significance of characters dying. You just say, "Is a female character? Then they need to live." That's all you think.
To
So
be
real quick,
frank,
we
to
have
be
a super
frank.
chat from Cranberry. Don't nobody kill about niggas dying. Hates.
Listen, man, Black Lives Matter. All right, we care if something happens to Barrett out in these streets. All right, okay.
I'm just saying, back in the day when
Plus we gotta see Barrett's story with his friend,
With his
from back in the
daughter.
day. Yeah.
That was always one of my favorite parts of 7, actually, Barrett's story. I do want to see how they do it in this.
I forgot about
great.
that.
It'll be great. But to in defense of my fine name, I don't just go after the whole waifu shit. Like honestly, I did not care about Aerith. I just put material on her and she died and I lost my material. To be honest, I cared more about the material than her.
I forgot you're salty about that.
Yes.
I feel like
years later.
I feel like the only way a Barrett dying will have impact, and this is gonna sound sad, is if they killed him off alongside Tifa, because then people will be like, man, they killed Tifa and Barrett, man. What's wrong with these people?
Oh man.
But if it's just Barrett alone, they're like, damn, my nigga down.
But what if they kill off Marlene? Yeah. What if they kill off Marlene? Wouldn't that have a big impact on the game and the characters? Yeah.
Barrett's daughter.
How dare you not know who Marlene is?
I guess.
But you know the thing is that I think if they kill off Barrett and then they frame it through the eyes of Marlene, I think it hits harder than that.
I could.
You also gotta do a lot to make people care about Mylene in part 2 leading up to that, though.
I mean, it's
Definitely.
a kid. It's a kid. If a kid dies, people are going to be like, "Oh no, the little girl died! Oh my god!"
Yes, but also if you want it to be like on the level of like a Nanakos thing, then you gotta make the character, the player care about her.
Interesting. You got a point there. Good point there.
Yeah, you would have to put a lot of time into making the player care.
Okay. All right. So this game is gonna be it's gonna get a better Metacritic score than 16, right?
Something like that.
I think
What's 16's Metacritic score anyway? It's like an 87, right, or some shit.
I feel like it's an 86 or something like that. Let's do a quick.
I thought it was an
check
87. It probably did drop to 86 and solidify there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let me see real quick. Final Fantasy 16 sits at a 80. What the fuck happened to Metacritic? 87 on Metacritic.
Yeah, I do not like their new layout. It looks ugly.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the hell happened here? Jesus.
Let me actually take a look at this. I haven't seen it in a while.
You said it's an 87 or 86?
87.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Which is wild. It definitely should not be that high, but
yeah, it definitely should not. That game's a solid 80. I'm sorry, but maybe its production values might bring it up there. I don't know.
I feel like production value should only bring it up to an 80.
So Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looks great, looks amazing. I can't wait to see all the team attacks and see how good the game runs on natively on PS5. Now that the PS4 development has been completely left in the dust, thank God. And now we can see this game at least when it comes out running at a really good frame rate. Because of course, you gotta wait for the PC version to do anything, and then the mods gotta wait for the goddamn mods and all that stuff. I hate Square Enix sometimes, man. Square Enix is like.
In regards to the third part of the game, will we be getting that this gen?
Is it safe to come back yet?
It is.
Yeah, it's safe to come back.
We were talking about Blake if they killed off Tifa this time instead
of Aerith,
and that no one would care if it was a dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, what were you saying, Riku?
Yeah, no, I won't be surprised if it. I feel like by the time the third game comes out, it's gonna be ready. It's gonna be time to move to the next generation, and it's gonna be a cross-gen game.
You might be right.
Really?
How long did it take for this one to come out? This one, the original came out in the remake 2020, right? So it's been 3 years. How many years were we into this generation now? PS5.
There's the thing, right? If it's gonna come out 2024, that means Part 3 has to come out at earliest 2027. That's basically time for the next gen.
Is it? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Well, if you look at Xbox's recent leaks about their console coming out in late 2028, they call me the segue god. But anyway, no, continue.
Yeah, which would make it, somewhere around a cross-gen game.
I don't know. I feel like for next gen, what they're going to do is just Final Fantasy VII Anthology Collection or whatever, and then just have a port for PlayStation 6 with all 3 games.
Yeah, I could see that.
What?
I don't think they're going to do. Well, I mean, they could do a Master Collection when 3 comes out for PS5, but I don't know.
Someone in the chat said, "What if they kill Cloud and replace him with Jack? Who the freak is Jack?"
I think he meant Zach.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say.
You see, Jack is Zach's cousin. On his mother's side.
Garland. Jack Garland. He's here to kill chaos.
I'm about to say, I was like, who the freak is Jack? I'm like, there's a Jack in this game? Like, since when? But what if they do that?
The trailer playing as Sephiroth, that shit looks, it's not every day you get to play as Peak.
Oh my God, Sephiroth. Do people play him in Melee? I don't think. I mean, not Melee.
I do.
Said Melee.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know what Ultimate.
That boy's Sephiroth on Ultimate. That boy's crazy. You get to impale people. It's crazy.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Guy says watch games to be raised to $80 by that time. Yeesh. And we'll still pay it. But yeah, what is with that Sephiroth? Yeah, you will. Hey, what if what's the last one? Super Robot Wars 31 comes out. It's $80.
What?
I don't know. I thought the last one was 30. I'm sorry.
This one's 30. That's for the 30th anniversary. They're not going to name the next one 30.
I also didn't pay $80 up front for that, sir.
Oh man, okay.
I paid $129 because I got the special collector's edition. Well, not collector's edition. I got the expensive edition.
Lord. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy. I'm assuming everybody except Miles getting it day one.
Yes, sir.
There we
Playing
go.
through part 1 right now.
Good job. I don't know what took you so long. Playing on PC, right?
Huh? No, playing on PlayStation 5. Why? This is not part 2 is not going to launch on PC same day. So why would I play it on PC?
Because you want to play peak Final Fantasy on peak settings.
I also like to stream, and I find whenever I stream on my PC and play a PC game, there's compromises.
He's also a FOMO nigga, so he's definitely.
That's not true.
That does sound like you, Blake.
Oh man. But yeah.
I am a nigga, but I'm not a FOMO nigga.
What?
I was kind of tearing up when I saw on the trailer. I watched it earlier. I was like, oh man, they got the
You'll tear up to this, but not to Xenoblade 3 Chapter 5, you motherfucker.
He's a fraud.
Get him out of here.
Xenoblade 3 can go kick rocks.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So let's go on real quick. Hold on. Somebody in chat asked me what specs do I got. I got my rig isn't really that great. I got a 3060, 32 gigabytes of RAM,
Wow.
and a Ryzen 1700X as a processor.
Here's the thing, right? here's the thing, right, Shadow? Your equivalent of what you're saying. Oh, I don't have a good PC. Is like, oh yeah, I don't have any money, but I drive a Bugatti Veyron, and I have a 15-bedroom house and shit. Who the hell is out here having a 36 and being like, my PC's shit? Like, what is wrong with you?
Hey man, if it was up to me, I have a 4000 series card by now. I mean, it is up to me, but I feel like I don't need like the most high end card because the games I play don't demand it. So
Also,
resolution do you
said
play at?
4090,
4K
64 gigs of RAM.
4090.
I know you ain't running around with that, Ace.
There's no
Ace does
way.
actually not have that. And also, Shadow, if you are looking to upgrade your PC in the future, apparently the 40 series is kind of bad from what I've heard from tech YouTubers. They're saying that like it's underperforming for like the value and price. So you might just want to wait till the next series comes out.
Yeah,
Unless you're upgrading from the 1000 series, just go to 3000 for now.
Yeah, I'll probably just end up getting like a 5000 series, like a 560 or something like that, whatever it comes out.
Nah, just buy an AMD graphics card. You'll be fine.
50.
Yeah, Q, you're the only one that thinks that, but you enjoy that.
I don't think like anybody that asks me, oh, how should I build my PC? I'll never tell them to get an AMD graphics card.
Why?
NVIDIA's been proven.
Because
they are
NVIDIA
support
exactly.
for a reason.
Let's just put it this way: what's inside your Xbox and your PlayStation? Say it
Mid.
so. He says mid.
Actually, I shouldn't be saying that because I have a AMD processor, so it's been pretty good. But that's because it was pretty cheap.
Great CPUs, just not GPUs.
Yeah.
My GPU is fine. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Who's still running with a 1060?
I mean 1060.
Swear to God. I'll donate for you to get a better graphics card.
GPD Win Max 2 is running on AMD. Let's go.
They got friend Riku.
Yeah, I said
I said
Riku.
Riku. I think our friend
Ryu says
has a 1000 series card.
Oh my God.
1060. He's like, I don't understand why Starfield doesn't run so well on my PC. It's just not be optimized.
What?
Now, don't laugh at reason.
He's trying to play Starfield on a 10.
Yeah, he sent me a screenshot. It looks like the Switch port of Mortal Kombat 1, bro. It just does not look good.
That's your
That shit
boy.
blurry as hell.
Hey man, shout out to Ryu.
Not all of us can
Shout out to
afford
Rob.
expensive cards.
That is true.
Now, if we want to slander someone over a graphics card, let's slander Lady Pelvic. She bought.
Bought this stupid fucking expensive PC and used it
She
for
thought her
Lady
graphics
Pelvic
card
Slander,
was.
let's go.
She thought her graphics card was going to be the size of like a playing card. Oh,
What the
sweet girl.
fuck? How
Because she
much
knew
did she
nothing
pay for it
about
again?
a lot. Let's just say that.
Oh my God.
Pretty sure she has
Go
that.
ahead and sell that. You know what I'm
playing
saying?
card.
She just read graphics card and thought it was going to be a literal card.
And
Oh
the
my
most
God.
graphically
Wow,
intensive
no, she
game
didn't.
that she plays
did
is
not
Among
think
You
Us.
can ask her. She'll tell
She
you.
did
Among
not
Us are
think
Vampire
that.
Survivors.
No.
Oh
No.
my God. Man. Shout out to Lady
That's your
Pelvic.
queen. That's your queen in the comment section.
Yeah, that's y'all queen. That's y'all slay queen. That's who y'all like, all right? See?
Hell, get in here and defend yourself. Don't be taking that
Disrespecting
slander.
PC gaming stuff. Oh my God. Oh man. But anytime there's pelvic slander, I'm always there for it. You guys got more pelvic slander before we move on?
I'm coming around to the pelvic slander as well.
It's because she did that Trails thing or something.
Oh, damn straight. Damn straight.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. All right, let's talk about the dawn is breaking and the next day is coming.
Oh, Lord.
Let's talk
Riku, go ahead and stretch because you already know you're about to be here a while. Unzip your pants, get the lube.
And no goddamn spoilers, right?
Lay it on the
spoilers
table.
to minimum.
Oh my God. So Riku, go ahead. I got some follow-up questions, but if you want to take your initial rant, go ahead, man. Floor is yours.
So Nihon Falcon laid there
Oh my God.
on the table and was like, Eiyu Densetsu Kuro no Kiseki will now be called The Legend of Heroes Trailed Through Daybreak. Let's get it. Let's go. Everybody is pretty happy about the fact that Trails Through Daybreak will be coming out 2024 of summer of next year. very good on Nisa for getting this out, because on a couple of episodes ago, Shadow asked me when did I think that this game was going to come out, and I personally said 2025 at the earliest. Now, when I said this, I was being very pessimistic in regards to, the way things have been going before the 2023, because we've gotten a lot of Trails games in 2023 and a little bit at the end of 2022. A lot of them have been coming out. So before that, they've been going rather slow. So like, I guess I was getting a little pessimistic in regards to all of the interviews up to this point, where Nihon Falcom has been saying, "Oh, people, we will be getting these games localized faster." And they actually did say that once again in an interview like 2.5 months ago. Toshihiro Kondo said that in an interview. The localization will be getting faster. And when he said that, everybody in the comment section to that article said, "Yeah, we don't believe you. You're just saying a whole bunch of like lip service to keep the fans at bay, because everybody's flipping out about the fact that these games are taking too long to come out. Blah, 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 blah. So let's just say something to shut these motherfuckers up. Nothing's gonna change." And deep down, I wanted to believe him, but like, it was just like, I gotta see, actions speak louder than words. And this year, and like I said, the fourth quarter of last year, it showcases that they are finally picking up the pace in regards to getting these games out. So I'm happy that it's coming out next year. And that, I guess that that raises the question: when will Trails Through Daybreak 2 be coming out? Maybe 2025? Who knows? Like, it seems like Falcom is making sure that NIS is putting in work in the background in regards to localizing these games and knocking them out. We're getting Disgaea 7. When does Disgaea 7 come out?
Next
right around the corner,
month.
right?
Next month, yeah.
Yeah, and
next
I'm
month.
not entirely sure how many things NIS has cooking in the background, but regardless of however many things they have cooking in the background, it definitely seems like they are trying to prioritize the Falcom games. I would assume that out of the games that bring them revenue, that the Falcom games are around the top of the games that bring them money. So, from a business standpoint, you might as well prioritize the ones that are bringing in the money versus the ones that aren't. So it's like, that makes
Tanamono or whatever that shit's called, not paying your bills, but
yeah, it's like, and NIS definitely releases a lot of stuff that isn't Falcom, and unlike another company, Xseed, dropping these random games out when they should be giving us Trails in the Sky on modern platforms and Cold Steel 1 and 2 on Switch. They don't give a fuck about giving us anything with those licensings. But NIS is out here trying to get. It seems like they're trying to squeeze as much money out of the licensing rights to the specific Falcom games that they do have. We've been seeing that with the PlayStation 5 version of Ys 8, and then the PlayStation 5 version of Ys 9. These games didn't technically need PlayStation 5 versions. The PS4 versions running on PS5 run fine. But it's like, NIS is like, we have the rights to Ys 8 and Ys 9. What can we do to get more money out of these games we've already released? Let's release PlayStation 5 versions of them. And I don't even know how good those versions are selling. I've heard some people say that
wasn't there was one. Was it East 10 that like the PS5 version had like a 120 FPS mode or something?
that was I think that was actually Ys 8. Ys 8 and Ys 9.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was 10.
Lacrimosa of Dana.
Yeah. But the point is, I know there are some people that try to get the physical copy of these Falcom games, and when the print runs out, some people still want them, and it's apparently hard to find them when they run out of print. So when these PS5 versions come out, those that specific group, however large they are, they're happy because now they get to own the physical version of a game that they've been trying to get a hold on that is out of print. So I'm assuming those people are happy in regards to these PS5 versions of Ys 8, Ys 9, and the thing they also announced alongside with this Trails Through Daybreak, which is PS5 versions of Cold Steel 3 and 4. I think they announced it in a bundle pack, which is interesting. I don't think they've done that. I know the Japanese side of thing, they bundle these Trails games together in one package all the time, but this is the first time they're doing it over here. So that's good. It's good for the people that wanted to own these games physically, and apparently they were saying that it was getting difficult to get them because they were going out of print. So this is their second chance for them. Good for them. Getting back to Kudo, or Daybreak as we're going to call it now. I'm still probably going to call it Kudo. I'm happy.
You better pull it Daybreak.
Yeah, you saw the people online a couple days ago that were complaining. Trails Through Daybreak. That's kind of wordy. I don't know if I like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, people,
freaking
calm
morons.
down. And then there's some other people that are like, Trails Through Daybreak as a title doesn't make sense because if the reason for Kudo is it's supposed to be dark and there's nothing dark about the word Daybreak. And like, people, shut the fuck up. We're getting the game next year. Y'all always trying to find something to complain about. Watch your fucking mouth. The Falcom gods have dropped their cocks, and we here, okay?
Oh my god.
All right, so I will end it right there. I could go on all night.
Actually, no, that was pretty good. I got to admit that was a good amount of time. I like that.
I will end it right there. We can open up the floors to everyone else.
You're improving. So would you say, Riku, that this is a just perfect, absolutely great way to begin your Trails journey?
Definitely. Say
Perfect. I wouldn't say perfect, but I am not irked if someone said that their entry point would be Trails Through Daybreak. But I did hear when it gets to Trails Through Daybreak 2 that it starts to do kind of what Cold Steel 3 to 4 did. For the weirdos who started off at Cold Steel 3 and tried to defend it saying, well, I'm seeing it from the perspective of new Class 7. They don't know anything. I don't know anything. And it's fine. It's great. And then they get to Cold Steel 4, and y'all know how Cold Steel 4 starts off, right? Mm-hmm. They don't give a fuck about your feelings, right?
Yep.
I heard that Kudo 2, not to the same degree as Cold Steel 4, but they are around that area of like, if you don't have knowledge of the previous games, you're gonna start fucking yourself over when when Daybreak 2 comes up. So for anyone that wants to start off with Trails Through Daybreak, I hope that the game entices them enough to want to go backwards, because they're like those Cold Steel 3 weirdos. They're gonna start fucking themselves once they go to the next entry.
Interesting perspective. Is this game coming out on PS5 only or PS4 and PS5?
They
PS4,
announced
PS5,
it for
Switch.
Yeah, PS4, PS5, Switch, and Steam.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything is not an Xbox.
Yeah, basically everything except for Xbox, which I saw people in the comments section once again. Why is it not on the Xbox? I want this game. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay. Wow. It'll be an Xbox One these days. Don't worry. Game Pass will get it.
People are also interested on how the Nintendo Switch version of this game will run. We'll see. I don't know. Because here's the thing,
Switch
Roy.
2 is supposed to be announced next year potentially. So
yeah, this game could run good on the Super Switch, right? But also, this game, people need to remember, this new engine that Falcom is using is still from the ground up a PlayStation 4 engine.
He's not wrong.
So yeah, this isn't Falcom games, Trails games. They aren't anything that pushes the boundaries, right? In regards to like performance or graphics or anything like that. So I feel like if NIS or whoever's doing the porting, whether it's directly through Falcom or if it's NIS, I don't think it should be that difficult for them to get a solid Switch version running on it when you have games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Even though it's made from the ground up for the Switch, doesn't change the fact that that game is impressive to run on the Switch the way it does. And I don't see why Daybreak can't be running at least at a solid locked 30, right?
Ew.
At the bare minimum. I mean, this is the Switch
calm
we're
down.
talking about, right? Most games on the Switch don't run at 60. So like
Exactly.
at the very best, you should expect a locked 30. If you're not getting a locked 30, then I would feel like you have something to remotely complain about. But like at the bare minimum, give these motherfuckers a locked 30, okay? And they should be fine. Everyone else can run around with their 60 frames, and I think PS5 version and PC version might be running at 120.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah.
Do you see these games
that.
coming for like the new iPhone 15 or whatever have you? Because I've been seeing some games have been.
I don't know. I know NIS also tried to when what was Google's weirdo platform called at one point?
Stadia?
Failed?
Something crap.
Wait, what was it called?
Stadia?
Stadia, yeah.
Stadia, yeah.
Fucking when Stadia was a thing, NIS when Stadia was going around trying to get some games, they were throwing out money trying to get games, and NIS was like,
got a good
we'll
game
take
on
some
their
money, and
platform.
they put Ease 8, Coastal 3, and 4 on Stadia. So it's like, I'm not gonna say I don't see this going out to like other odd places, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say no, because of what happened with that Stadia thing. They're just trying to get a paycheck out here.
So this game has been announced. I see a lot of excitement behind it. Like a lot of the people are really happy that this game is coming out, and like you said, people are very surprised that it's coming out. I guess quote unquote so soon. Even though this is like what a 3-year-old game at this point, anyway, or by the time it releases.
Yeah, for this game in particular, its original release, yes.
Do you think this game will be very popular and it will overshadow the other games in the series? And if that's the case, would that be okay with you?
I think in regards to any franchise, I expect the next game to outdo its predecessor. That's what a successor, I feel like, by default, should aim to do. So, if this game outshines all of the previous Trails games before it, then I would say, as a successor entry, mission accomplished. I'm happy that that's the case. And for someone like me who likes all of the previous games, knowing that this game is going to be better than all of them prior, that sounds like a win for me. Now, what I don't want people doing is obviously
to add to this real quick.
Yeah, slandering the previous games and uplifting. I hate it when people do that with like anything. But go ahead, Shadow. I mean, sorry, not Shadow. Bow.
Just to add to this thing of whether it'll be like more successful, I think there's two pivotal points that'll influence that here in the West. One, if this game comes out next to like no other big games, then obviously that's great. But I feel like with the way Trails fans have already been hyping this up, if they can keep that momentum for like the release day and the publisher does their job in doing a little advertising, once word of mouth spreads, I could see this being the most successful game here. But to answer Mazio real quick in the chat, he said the sales are declining, so I don't think that'll sell. It'll sell better. To be fair, that's only in Japan. Yeah, I could see the Trail series finding success here in the West. Like
I'll also say that in regards to sales declining. Obviously, when it comes to this particular franchise, and I've seen this as someone who's been getting into books and certain series that have a long amount of ongoing entries. Obviously, the further you get, the lesser amount of sales, whatever the later entries are, because of the the barrier of entry. So that doesn't necessarily mean the games are getting worse. It's just the nature of how it's set up that way. There are specific entry points, and you can't enter through it any way you want to. So taking that into consideration, it's a given for this game to, for whatever the later game to be, to not be sell as well as whatever the previous game. I don't think that has anything to do with quality, especially when it comes to people talking about Daybreak in particular, saying that, you know, on both sides of the spectrum, whether it's someone who loves Trails all the way up to this point saying that this is one of their favorite entries, to people on the other side of the spectrum saying that they were ready to drop the franchise, and Daybreak is apparently the entry that saved them. So like,
Bow?
not Bow, another specific goofy motherfucker that is at a site that
I'm
his
skipping
name shall not
ahead.
be named.
I have heard people say that Kuro too. They just dropped the
I
ball
think-
with that. But
I
we
think
also
when it
got
comes-
confirmation that game was pushed out ahead of schedule, which sucks.
That is as well too. I also heard some people say the opposite in regards to Kudo 2. I think what Kudo 2 is dealing with is what I see a small subset of second paired Trails games deal with, which Cold Steel 2 this happened, and Cold Steel 4 this happened, where these specific second paired entries shake up things to the point where there's a subset of people who are just like, this one isn't for me. And Cold Steel 2 got its slander, Cold Steel 4 got its slander, and I'm assuming Kudo 2 is within that category, because I've heard, like I said, I've also heard some people say that Kudo 2 is their favorite in their franchise as well. So I'm just gonna chalk it up to, this is in the realms of the Cold Steel 2, Cold Steel 4 games. And if that's the case, I'm hyped, because those two specific entries are amongst my favorites. So I'm here for it. Going back to what you were saying in regards to like the sales and whatnot. I think I agree with you in regards to advertising. I feel like the biggest thing NIS or whoever is in charge of advertising needs to do when it comes to advertising this game is to heavily push the fact that it has an aspect to it that isn't turn-based. I feel like that's one of the reasons.
Right. Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, from an advertisement standpoint, that is the thing that brought in the people for Final Fantasy 16. It's not turn-based. I'm here for it. So it's like those same small brain people who that is the selling point for them. If you're going about this in a from a business standpoint, and you're just trying to get people into the game, those type of people will be in. I know people personally that said, and I hate the fact that they said this, but it is what it is. They said that they are not interested in Trails. And when I told them that, back when it was only called Kudo, when I told them that Kudo is an entry that you can, from a press of a button, you can switch it to action and start attacking and whatnot, they're like, you know what? I'm starting from there, and I wanted to choke his bitch ass out. But I wanted to choke his bitch ass out when he said that. And he was like, Riku, tell me when Kudo comes out. Tell me when Kudo comes out, because I'll be there day one. I want to punch his fucking face. But I was like, you know what? Whatever. I just know there are people out there like you that's the biggest selling point, is that they don't give a fuck about anything other than the fact that they don't have to play in turn-based all the time. So, unfortunately, just like how NIS and Falcom thought that it was a good idea to advertise Cold Steel 3 as a good entry point to start the game off with.
Insane.
They even though they said, you know what, we're just gonna have to do it. We're just gonna have to tell us, especially when it comes to these Switch niggas, that this is the first Trails game that Switch niggas are gonna be playing, and they're gonna be like, this is Cold Steel 3. Maybe I shouldn't start here. I don't know. It's the third game, but this is the only game out by console. Falcom and NS are like, fuck. What are we gonna do? Just tell them this is a good entry point. All right, just tell them. They're like, yeah, well, I was gonna start off here, and then they go and play fucking Cold Steel 3, and they're like, you know what? This game's not half bad. You know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and I feel like, to a degree, they should do something like that as well. And I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like it would help Kudo more than it helped Cold Steel 3 and 4. You know? because
Okay.
it is what it is. I think as long as you tell them, when it comes to the boss battles, you still got to play that in turn based. I think if they know, if someone tells them that going in, then maybe they'll be fine, or maybe not tell them, and they reach to the boss battle like, well, I'm not playing action anymore. What's going on? Like,
It's gonna
hey.
be it's gonna be definitely weird when they say, "Oh, you can freely switch between turn-based and action," but all of a sudden in a segment of gameplay you're forced to play turn-based. That's a little bit weird. Like I feel like if they were gonna go all the way on that, like every single battle should be interchangeable.
Yeah.
I think it's two things behind that. Thing number one is the fact that I wouldn't be surprised if during development they probably tried to make the boss battles action and ran into some sort of balancing issues when it came to certain boss battles. Like, I want you to sit down and think about this for a second. someone like fighting someone like Arianhard or McBurn in action just sounds fucking wild in comparison to its turn-based counterpart in regards to like balancing and all of that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they probably tested it and saw that this was a nightmare when it came to balancing from a balancing standpoint, and just were like, we're just not going to do this for bosses. You guys are just going to have to keep it turn-based. The other aspect that I was thinking about is the fact that when it came to the action part of this game, they made it pretty clear that this is just a small natural evolution of what we've been doing in Trails since Trails from Zero. And that's when you're running around the field with your characters, and you can smack the enemy, and they get stunned, and you can get into your extra encounter. That little small aspect of the gameplay before you get into turn-based, they're saying that it's a natural evolution of that aspect of the game.
What the fuck?
No, Ace
Where
is playing
basically
this already, and he's saying the action is really bare bones.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't feel and that's the sad part about the people who are hyped and coming into Kudo for the fact that it's going to be action. I feel like those people might be disappointed because, as far as I heard and seen, the action side of this isn't something you really should be super hyped for. They said the main reason. They said the main reason. They said the main reason behind the fact that there even is an action part of the aspect of this game is because when it came to the Trails gameplay, all the way up to the Reverie, there has been a subset of amount of people that have been complaining about the gameplay speed tempo of Trails, and they're saying that it's on the slower end of it, and it's something that they've been complaining about for a very long time. And over time, they've been trying to make the tempo faster, but these subset of people still complained. And then they saw, NIS and Xseed add speed up to the gameplay, and they saw that, and they started implementing that into the Japanese versions of the games, because I think all the way up to Reverie, all of the Japanese versions of Trails games did not have turbo mode. It wasn't a thing until Reverie. That's the 10th installment. And the Japanese people over there, I heard for the most part, they didn't care, didn't have an issue, right? It was a small, loud minority. But over here in, the Americas, a lot of people, a nice chunk of people complain about the fact that Trails is just too slow. They need turbo mode. Everybody loves it. And as far as we know, a lot of JRPGs after Trails have been putting turbo mode into their game as a fucking staple. If you don't have turbo mode in your turn-based JRPG in 2023, what the fuck are you doing? Is the vibe that people are on. That's the vibe that people are on, which is wild. Like it's like a regular thing that you have to have in your turn-based game now. Which you know how I feel about turbo mode. But the point is, people wanted the gameplay to be faster. So they were like, where exactly do people want the gameplay to be faster when you're in these encounters? In the battles that you're going to be doing the most, which is regular encounters, right? Because what they've been seeing when people were playing regular encounters is the fact that people either put it on auto battle, they are skipping the encounters, or they're putting it on turbo mode, right? The point is, these encounter battles isn't something that a majority of players really care to go through. And when they reach around the end of the game, and we've all done this, except for me, but I've watched all you motherfuckers. I've watched a nice chunk of people play Trails, and I don't blame you guys for doing this either. But the point is, when you reach to the final dungeon in the Trails game, 60, I would even say probably 80% of the enemies in the dungeon you are fucking skipping, and you know you are. You're running past these motherfuckers. You're trying to get to the next
I'm
story.
ready for the game to be over.
Wait a minute.
Right?
I don't do
Not
that.
even- not even- you're not even-
50% of the game.
It's not even that you're ready for the game to be over. Let's all agree that Trails games end on a pretty high note. Like their story beats are pretty high, and people just want to see what's gonna happen next, and they don't really give a fuck about encounters at that point in the game. Unless you're someone going for the final and you're trying to scan all the enemies, you're skipping all of these enemies, right? So the point is,
dungeons just drag is my issue with Trails usually.
I don't think I ever do that. I don't think I run in the final dungeon straight to the end. No, I fight.
well, not straight to the end, but like for the most part, majority of the enemies are getting skipped, right? That's
I
my
definitely
point.
do that.
So, Shadow, you battle every single enemy you run into.
Yeah, for the
in
most
every
part.
dungeon.
Yeah, for the
In
most part.
Ecosia 4, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, me too.
I just
But my
had to
point is,
start
Shadow, we are
skipping.
in the minority. Majority of people skip majority of the enemies in the final dungeon or the later end of the games, right? And I mean, it's your choice. This isn't random encounter. You have the option to skip them if you want to. But I would assume that these enemies aren't here for you to skip them. They would probably want you to fight them. That's the reason they put them there in the first place. So they wanted to address the fact and incentivize people to fight these encounters more, because like I said, that's around the area where people are skipping the encounters the most, is in the final dungeon, because they're at the end of the game, they want to see the end. But when they're out in like the regular fields in like the game all the way up to that point, there's still a nice chunk of enemies that I see that people are skipping, right? So it's like, it's somewhat of an issue that Falcom felt like they needed to address, and they felt the best way to do that is to give the regular encounters that aren't boss battles its own unique thing that will make it more enticing and faster
Okay.
for them to go through.
I see what you're talking about. Okay.
So when they get into these encounters, they don't have to go through a slower tempo of turn-based in these encounters, because these turn-based battles in Trails, in comparison to turn-based battles in basically any other JRPG, is definitely significantly slower. Right?
But wait a minute. Hold on. Like, but these people aren't playing the game on like freaking hard or nightmare or best mode. Like, come on, like the encounters are ending like two seconds. Like I don't know. For me,
dropping like an S-craft.
Yeah, dropping the S-craft, dropping a regular craft. If you're using green, just use his freaking Gale and just use somebody else's AOE craft, and then it's pretty much over. Especially if you're playing on normal easy. Like, what the fuck?
No, I understand where you're coming from, Shadow, but the point is, it builds up over time, right?
Yeah,
that's one encounter.
You're basically just repeating the same movement over and over.
Yeah, that's one specific encounter you're talking about. If you're in a dungeon, there's like 20-something enemies, and you're doing that 20 times, then I can understand someone feeling like that's repetitive.
Then fight a big monster. Then there's a big monster on the field most of the time. Go fight them, and then get your money's worth when you're fighting. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Shadow, I'm on your side, but I'm putting myself in their shoes in regards to
the fucking shit. Don't put yourself in their shoes. They can't sit down for 2 seconds to play a fucking battle.
Disrespect, Shadow.
Look, Shadow. The only reason I'm putting themselves in their shoes to understand why they feel that way is because that's the reason why Kudo is the way it is, right? That's the only reason I'm doing it. Because Falcom said they had to address this because people were complaining. And it is what it is. We have Kudo the way it is because of that demographic. It seems like they were able to find a decent balance in regards to those specific complaints, while also keeping Trails a turn-based game at its core. Because you've seen Final Fantasy 16 or any other, I guess, JRPG that you can think of that was turn-based but isn't anymore, but I can't think of them anywhere right now. I feel like Final Fantasy is the biggest perpetrator of this. When 16 came out, everyone, the turn-based fan base of people were mad. Like, man, I want Final Fantasy to go back to turn-based. Probably never gonna happen again, right? And when Kudo was announced that it had some sort of action gameplay associated with it, I remember one of my friends was kind of concerned about Trails going down the same path of Final Fantasy 16. It's like, if you wanted to play an action JRPG from Falcom, go play Ys. That's what Ys is here for. Why would you want that in Trails? Trails is supposed to be their turn-based game. Ys is supposed to be their action game. So why are you bringing action in my Trails? That was his point of view, and I understood that. But it's like Trails through Daybreak is letting you know that this game is still a turn-based game at its core. It is about, Ace, you could correct me if I'm wrong, 85% still turn-based, 15% action.
But it's optional though, isn't it?
It's
not like you're forced to do action, is it?
Yeah, no, you're not. But
Okay.
and that ratio might even be even further on the turn-based side. It might actually be 90-10. The point is, the action is extremely bare bones, right? You got a couple swings, you got a dodge, and you got like a special move. That's about it. It is not something to take as seriously as some sort of Tales of type of thing. This isn't 50-50, people, right? This mode is meant for you to tear through the regular encounters and be less bored than if you were doing it in turn-based. That's what it exists for. I want everyone to know that going into there, right?
Okay,
I don't want you going there thinking you're going to be doing Tales of combos.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Or even Ys combos. You're not going to be doing that.
That's good to know. But like, you brought up Final Fantasy 16, but Final Fantasy 16, it's like the regular encounters in that game is just like hit the square button, you can kill these enemies in like 2 seconds. Like any enemy for the most part.
I wouldn't be surprised by the time you max out your characters in Kudo, you're doing the same thing.
I'm talking about in the beginning for freaking 16.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe if you don't do every like a good amount of quests, maybe. But no, even then the fucking levels are fucking manipulated. They're like on rails. You only level up when you beat a boss because you're getting almost no levels from quests. So yeah, every battle in that game, like normal battle that you're just going on the field for, you could just mash your way through it. Especially the quest monsters. Like, come on now. It's just ridiculous. Minus the haunt monsters, those are actually people that you or demons you actually want to fight, monsters you actually want to fight, and you need. But regular encounters, like you're saying, are the only things that are going to be available for the action portion, and it's just going to be a little bit of a button or two, and you can just attack and kill them. I guess.
If you remember what you were doing at your end game of basically any Trails game after Zero, where you know when your character's strong enough to the point where you can just smack an enemy and they'll die.
I just did that in like Reverie before I stopped playing it. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. I could do that? Like, I can even do that. All right, cool.
Bro, you've been able to do that since Zero. But
I didn't even know.
The point is, obviously, you're strong enough. You don't have to go into the encounter. You can just kill him and get your Sepith and keep it moving. Think of it as an evolution to that aspect of it. Instead of just smacking them once and them dying and you getting your Sepith, you have a little bit more to work with when it comes to that aspect.
They need to warn people that not to expect like an action game out of this. This is primarily a turn-based game first and foremost.
That's the thing that I was talking about earlier, Shadow. I feel like if you let a certain demographic of people know that is the case, they might actually not want to get it. They'd be like, "What? It's that bare bones? This is still turn-based. Fuck this shit!" Right?
Did you tell did you tell Sosuke about that?
Fuck Sosuke. Point is, when it comes to Kudo, it's like, yeah, that's what you guys should be expecting going in. It's still a turn-based game, and you have a little bit of action here and there to break up the monotony that would possibly happen when you're doing these turn-based battles in the encounters time and time again.
So what if what if NIS advertises as you can go action or you can go turn-based?
They're definitely going to advertise it that way, and I don't blame them if they do. I feel like hopefully the game is good enough to for that to just be the thing that gets them in the door, and then when they get in there and they realize Oh,
Then
it's
they can
not
rip the
as
home.
it's
The
not as
door's
deep
locked,
as
you
I
can't
thought.
go.
Not the action is gonna, But you know what? This game is actually still fun, and I still want to continue and play it, regardless of the fact that they lied to me. It is
Do
what
you
it is.
do you think that the people that have stuck it out this long, right, to not get into the series because it's turn based? Do you think like realizing it, maybe in the first few dungeons or whatever, is not going to be
Like,
resulting in them
wait
being
a
like,
minute.
I wouldn't
I'll
be
just get a
surprised.
refund. I'll just refund it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there will be people that refund Daybreak because they felt like the advertisement lied to them about the fact that this is action, especially when they get into a boss battle.
Now that brings
if there's
up a
someone
good
that
question,
hasn't,
though.
yeah, if there's someone that hasn't been messing around with the turn base up to the point where they get to a boss and they have to deal with all of the turn order manipulation gameplay that comes with the turn base, then they're probably gonna fuck themselves over by the time they get to a boss, and they might drop it by that point.
This brings up a good question, though. Would a demo then be smart for this game? Because a lot of people are
I
saying we
think
need
so.
a demo.
'Cause
But if
that's
they do a demo and people get that, oh, this is mainly turn-based, then is it worth it?
Yeah, I don't know. That is a good question. A demo might hurt them in that regards to the people that think they can come into here expecting turn-based gameplay that's good that they're not gonna mess around with, but action gameplay that is around the level of even ease. Or God forbid they go in here thinking that it's gonna be on a Tales of level. They're gonna be heavily disappointed, and that demo is not gonna sell them on the game.
Okay, so the
Did-
action is going to be like Devil May Cry. Got it.
Lord, in a perfect
do
world,
you-
you would wish that was the case, but it's like, no.
Do you really want the people who are coming in for I shall just say the Devil May Cry style gameplay, thinking that that's what it's gonna be, and then realizing it's not that, and then like review bombing this game and saying, "Oh, it's shit," and then
That definitely could be a reality that we're looking at. That we could be looking at, where people review bomb the game because they felt like the action side that they advertise isn't action. It's barely action. Like, fuck this game. I could see it going down that path too.
They'd be like, they've been hoodwinked, bamboozled,
Yeah.
led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived by Nippon.
Speckledorfed. That's not gonna work. Thank you.
Okay, so that's Daybreak. Riku did go in.
I'll still be playing my encounters in turn base, and then I'll mess around with the action, and I'll be swapping between the two because, like I said, you can do it on the fly. Why not?
So
I'm not
wait
gonna
a
stick
minute.
to one or the other.
So wait a minute, Bauer, are you gonna be playing this game?
No. I will be spoiling it for Riku, who doesn't play
Lord?
SRW, though.
Crazy.
Oof, you got that concept.
Wait. But you're not playing it? What about all the messages you were saying? You already got the collector's edition pre-ordered and you're going to be there day one? What you mean?
I don't remember that.
So chat, is Daybreak, Legend of Hills Trails Through Daybreak, is that going to be a day one for you? Or do you still have to finish Reverie like me? Or you got to go to Azure and Zero? Or you got to play Cold Steel 3 and 4? Or God forbid, you still got to play Sky 1, right, Q? Yeah.
Let me respond to Phantom Killer real quick. He said, Riku, I think you're wrong because of P5 being mainstream. Here's the thing, right? When it comes to games like P5, when it comes to games like Dragon Quest, when it comes to games like Final Fantasy, when it comes to games like Pokemon, these games have name recognition. So it doesn't really matter what those particular games come out with. When it comes to their mainline games, they will sell. Trails isn't that game. Trails doesn't have name recognition to, be successful just off of that. And it definitely doesn't have the spectacle, graphics, and presentation of a Persona. So I don't feel like that's a good comparison for Persona to Trails Through Daybreak. I when the trailer came out, I still saw people in the comment section saying this game looks like an HD PlayStation Vita game. What the fuck is this? So it's like there's obviously still a nice chunk of people out there that when they see the graphics, they still don't give a fuck about whatever the hell this game has going on. They won't say that about a Persona game. They're not even saying that about Persona, the recent Persona 3. And I feel like from a graphical standpoint, Persona 3 and this, they're not that far off. They're not that far off. It's not night and day.
I would have to think about that for a second. But while we're thinking about that, we need to address some super chats that came in.
We got a few by yeah.
I think it's like 2 that we got.
Yeah. It's just 2. All right, so we had a super chat, $5 super chat from Siri Delia. Someone else can pronounce that. Siri Delacroix.
Yeah, Delacroix. Yeah,
sure. Delacroix. They say Xenoblade 3, the mini bosses bleeding from the walls. It would take 100 hours to finish the last dungeon. You know, Xenoblade 3's last dungeon did go on a while, but
yeah, it did. Yeah, I remember playing it on stream. I was wondering what I got to the end, but yeah,
it's because you have to fight all those. I almost said enforcers. Isn't that what are they called? The Mobius.
Yeah, the alphabet and Mobius guys.
It's like A B C D E F G motherfuckers popping up out of every corner, bro.
I feel like that's just that is definitely.
I think it's just a JRPG thing.
Yeah, that's definitely an unspoken just JRPG thing. Where when you get to the final dungeon, yeah, I mean, but the thing is, those games were like you get into random encounters, and those are mandatory. So you couldn't skip them even if you wanted to, right? True. Like unless you did the run feature, which if the game's one of those games where they allow their run feature isn't something that's fucked up, then you're just running away from everything, which that's even more annoying than skipping everything, you know?
Yeah, I'd say the last dungeon and last dungeons in some of these recent JRPGs have been pretty questionable. Xenoblade 3, Tales of Arise, God, that was a dreadful dungeon to get through. But
yeah,
go ahead, finish up,
yeah, a nice chunk of final dungeons in JRPGs. I think it's safe to say a lot of people are skipping a nice chunk of the enemies in the final dungeons. So it's not just a Trails issue. It's definitely just the nature of the beast of JRPGs just trying to be grander and bigger as they go on. You start off, saving a little kid, now you're killing God. That's just a JRPG thing where it's just like it's just huge by the end. So when you're in that final dungeon, it's huge, the biggest dungeon in the game, shit ton of enemies, and you're probably ready just for the game to be over. So it just happens.
I'm actually when I get to final dungeon, especially in a game I like, I'm ready to fight more. I'm ready to fight some stronger opponents and see what's going on. But man, now that I think about it for Arise, god damn, I hated those enemies. It was like the enemy with like the axe in his hand. It was like 2 of them. They were just HP sponges. I was like, come on, dude, I do not want to fight you guys.
I personally feel like if there's one thing Trails does good for their final dungeons, at least for me, is they put a nice chunk of good story reveals and beats throughout their final dungeons, so that it doesn't feel as a drag to get through majority of it. Like they have it sprinkled throughout the final dungeons, of like good story reveals happening. So like that's good on them, because a lot of JRPGs are like, yeah, final dungeon, it's basically 80% of this final dungeon is going to be a drag until you get around the end, and then you get your reveal, and then you fight your final boss, and then it's the game is over, which leaves a sour taste in your mouth about the final dungeon itself. And Tales of Arise was one of those. I remember Xenoblade having Xenoblade 3 in particular, having a decent amount of good beats within its final dungeon.
I think they would just kind of wrap up the Mobius people because they didn't put them in like any other quests. It was like, oh, did you remember me? Like, oh yeah, you gotta wrap them up.
That one was more so about, all right, now we just got to take out all of these Mobius people. But
yeah,
it definitely felt one step above, like I said, your typical final dungeon where it's like you're just going through it, just trying to get through it, and then you reach to the end, and then you get your reward, which is the final boss and reveal. That's most final dungeons.
Okay. What was the other super chat?
Yeah, we got a super chat from Ace saying, I will say, if you like Zero, you'll like Daybreak.
Okay. I've been hearing a lot of people say Daybreak is really good, so we'll see what happens.
They're saying that it is a top tier first paired Trails game, if you understand what that means.
The fuck did you just say? Top tier
It's the first of a trilogy.
Oh, okay. Thank God. I was like, what?
Like,
Is Kuro gonna be a trilogy,
Trails in
or
the
is it gonna
Sky
be-
first
or is it-
chapter, Trails from Zero, Cold Steel 1, and Cold Steel 3. Those are first paired Trails games. And then Trails in the Sky second chapter, Trails to Azure, Cold Steel 2, Cold Steel 4. Those are second paired Trails games.
Okay.
So Kudo is a first paired Trails game. And what they're saying is that this is a top tier first paired game.
Okay, cool.
Which, you know, those
Do-
games are
do
like,
we-
building up the world, it's more slow paced. If you like
Do we know
those types of games, then Kudo is gonna be a good one for you.
Do we know if Kuro's going to be a duology or a trilogy?
2 is not the end.
Yeah, they did announce that they're working on a Kudo 3.
From what I've
for Windows 10.
heard, 2 is a filler. And it's one of the reasons a lot of people don't like it.
And I will say from this moment on the podcast, I am banning Kuro no Kizuki. You say Trails Through Daybreak on my podcast. So people in the chat, you guys are also on watch. I'm banning anybody who says Kuro no Kizuki in the chat. All right?
Are you racist? What's happening here?
For a while.
All right.
I'm associated that motherfucker.
If you need to associate, you call it Daybreak 2 for Kuro no Kizuki 2. You call it Crimson, whatever, and then you go from there.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting when we get to Daybreak 2, because if anybody remembers, the original name for the Japanese version of Cold Steel 4 was Eiyuden Tetsu Sen no Kizuki 4, The End of Saga. But then when we got it over here, they're like, we're dropping The End of Saga. It's just The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. When it comes to Kudo no Kiseki 2, the full name is Kudo no Kiseki 2 Crimson Sin. So I'm wondering if they're going to drop the Crimson Sin part when it comes over here, or are they actually going to call it Trails Through Daybreak 2 Crimson Sin? We'll see.
Another super.
Yeah, another super chat from Cranberry here saying, played Trails Through Daybreak, and it is top tier, especially because of the main heroine. Q knows why. Come on, Q.
Yeah, I've been hearing a nice chunk of people have been saying that Van Arkride is a nice combination of Kevin Graham and Yuri from Tales of Vesperia, which is a very interesting combination. I like both of them. Especially since we're not going to get any Kevin, so it's like, if someone says this guy has Kevin
don't
within
bring
him,
up Kevin. Don't bring up my boy
I'm
Kevin.
here for it.
Just completely forgotten to the sands of time. Oh my god. All right, so that's Daybreak. We appreciate that. Tal. We appreciate all the attention that it's getting. Let's hope we can get that momentum through for summer 2024 and see what happens there. Hopefully, this
2024 is looking very nice. We're getting the Final Fantasy Rebirth. We're getting Daybreak. Like, man, good stuff. Good stuff.
Getting or Yakuza Like a Dragon 2 or Infinite Wealth.
We're getting some nice chunk of Yakuza.
We're getting bangers.
Yeah.
Grand Blue
This
Fantasy.
generation is definitely looking a lot better now, because like those first couple of years into this generation was looking pretty goofy.
I mean, what else we got coming in 2024? What's that game called? Re-Fantasies? Something?
Fantasy. Aiden Chronicles coming.
Yeah, Aiden Chronicle. That what's the name that kept on getting delayed? That you guys
Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Yeah.
Is Yeast 10 coming out next year too? English, you think? English?
No.
Really?
No.
I think it is. I think it might. I think we're gonna get that in October.
That'll be dope. You know what?
Wait a minute. Did it come out?
One.
Is it out in Japan?
Yeah, it came out in Japan this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it's definitely that's a fall game right there. Easy.
I would love for that to be the case. I will, if I gotta be wrong again, then good. I will say I don't think it's coming out next year. And if the universe is like, fuck Riku, I'm just gonna make sure he's wrong every time, then E10 isn't coming out next year. You heard me, universe? It's not coming out next year.
Next year he's gonna buy everyone on the panel a copy.
So like many people might not know what the reference is I'm using, but you're using that Kid Smooth energy.
Yes, I am.
Okay, fair enough.
Reverse psychology on the universe.
Gotcha. Yeah, but a lot of games coming out in 2024 looking crazy. Maybe Dragon Quest 12 might even, maybe not come out, but might show its face again.
Yeah, they gotta show us something.
Yeah, because we haven't got anything on that. Yeah, a lot of good games coming out next year. You got that new Atelier game that's going to be completely mobile. Gonna love that. Fate Samurai Remnant, Suikoden 1-2 HD remasters. Is that coming out this year still? They
That was
officially delayed
delayed
it.
officially.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
they
yeah.
officially next year. So
So that's definitely a next year title. Dragon's Dogma 2. That's also
yeah, I
coming
saw
out.
some gameplay of that earlier. It's looking pretty nice.
Yeah, man. 2024 is looking crazy. I feel like every year, for just games in general, but for like every year, JRPGs, people are like, oh, 2023 is going to be a good year for JRPGs. Oh, man, 2024 is going to be a great year for JRPGs. I feel like every year is a great year for JRPGs. What y'all niggas talking about? Hasn't been in 1 year that's been barren or
Yeah,
just a
it's been
wasteland.
pretty good. It's been pretty good for a very long time. I feel.
All right. So what other topics do we need to cover? Those were the major topics, but we got anything else we want to cover? Because we've been here already for 2 hours. We want to keep going. Well, what else we got to talk about?
It's the big Microsoft week.
Okay, let's talk about that big.
The biggest leak in gaming history. Oh my gosh.
What's going on there exactly? Bob, you want to take us through it, or do you know about it, or what's going on here?
I don't know every specific because it's big, but essentially some documents and like email conversations from Microsoft got leaked detailing their plans for the next console. It leaked some games. It leaked conversations between devs. Just a lot of crazy stuff that we weren't supposed to know about.
So, from what I've gathered, that they have a mid console refresh, or it's like a new more powerful console. That's all the games are going to take advantage of it, or is it looking to replace the Series S, or what's the deal there?
It's a mid console refresh for the X, to be honest.
All right, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
So basically, it's an Xbox Series X with a couple of bells and whistles, but it removes the disk drive and is not a price drop.
Yes, same price.
Not a price drop.
Removes
Really?
the disk drive and has 2 terabytes of storage opposed to 1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good because these games will be taking up a lot of space on your systems or your consoles. So it's going to be more powerful, and it's going to be the same price. Is that what we're saying?
Essentially. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, really interesting. Ooh, can't believe that.
I mean, there's talk that they might potentially just have a disk drive attachment, but I can't see that happening.
I don't think that's a concept. There's no way.
Was there also a talk about Microsoft buying Nintendo again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did discuss that.
That goofy motherfucker Phil Spencer really thinks he's cooking.
Yeah, but you have to consider when these the information in these leaks, a lot of it is just sort of like conversation, like, hey, this is something that we like. Let's keep an eye on potentially if Nintendo folds, like we would like to pull them, like have them in on our fold, like as a digital thing. So, sorry, as a game developer, not as a console manufacturer, essentially. So there's a lot of stuff in there that's just like conversation. It's not like, oh, we're gonna do this. I think a lot of people are taking it as like it's a guarantee. And then as well, from what they've been saying, a lot of that information, some of it has changed based on. So what we will get in the future may not be that, because this was information from I can't remember what year they said it was from, but there's a lot of potential that a lot of this changes because I think it's around the time when they acquired Bethesda. Essentially, is when most of this is from.
Okay.
So things change and so forth, but there's a lot of details about like platforms, controllers, that kind of stuff, and some might be the same, some may be different. So speculation.
Okay. Interesting leak. How did this get leaked anyway?
So
this whole CSME kind of crap with buying Activision, they were supposed to upload some information about it onto these servers, and Microsoft uploaded some. I don't know who did it, but someone fucked it up at Microsoft apparently.
So the way it happened was Microsoft had to supply files to the FTC to justify their acquisition of Activision. So what they ended up doing was they were showing like proof of what they were like conversations they were having about acquisitions. They were also showing proof what they were doing with Bethesda once they acquired them. So a lot of Bethesda games have leaked. Apparently Starfield was supposed to like release internally, like 2021 is what they were targeting, and the DLC was supposed to be out in 2022. So that's funny. And they also leaked a new Doom game, which surprise, right? Another Doom game, but Doom Eternal was 2020, so it's been enough time. I think there was another Bethesda game that
Two
leaked
remasters.
Oh yeah,
Oblivion and
Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fallout 3 and Oblivion. But I feel like there was another like not licensed game. Wait, was it licensed? There was. I don't think it was the Indiana Jones game. I think it was a different game by Bethesda that was also leaked. They also leaked that Microsoft is planning to make a handheld.
Jesus.
Curious if it's going to be like a traditional handheld, like that's proprietary cartridges, discs, or whatever, or if it's just going to be like a Windows Steam Deck, basically for Microsoft, is what I'm leaning more towards. I don't think it's going to be a traditional handheld.
From what I think I heard, I think it's a cloud-based console, so I think it's like to capitalize on the whole Game Pass cloud system.
Oh dear lord, it better not be like PlayStation's fucking PS5 portable shit they just released.
I ain't gonna lie. People were saying like, "Oh, the PlayStation Portal is like a waste of money." I feel like I could use that, to be honest.
Don't no.
For what?
200 for what? Hey, 200 quid.
Listen. People be like, "Oh, the Switch is portable," but they don't take it outside. They just have it in their house.
I'll take mine
and
outside.
there are some times where I'm just chilling, where I'm playing the Disgaea 7 demo, that I just want to chill in my bed playing, and I was like, I could probably do this with the Portal thing
With
but
streaming
you can do it with your
PlayStation
phone.
to your phone.
I was just
You can do
saying
it on
I
your
could probably
phone.
do that. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean,
you can remote play
as
on
well.
He
your phone.
could. No, here's the thing, Roy. He could do that with his phone, but we know the phone experience of playing a console game is not desirable. Okay.
No, you
got-
can get control like Sony has.
and that's what I'm saying. Nonetheless, here's the thing, Roy. Even if you do it that way, right? Shadow's over here. He's playing his disguise. He's having a good time.
The demo.
And then someone calls him. Now what? Right? You just interrupted his gameplay with a phone call or whatever the fuck. Like,
true.
He could do it with a tablet.
People in
He could do it with a
2020.
tablet. He could do it with a with a cheaper phone he just bought specifically for that purpose. Look,
Once again,
less
the tablet
than 200.
Once again, you're assuming that Shadow has a tablet, right?
By the
If
way,
he
the
does,
other
then
Bethesda
cool.
game was the new Dishonored.
Right? Yeah, no.
Oh, well,
If he
that's
does,
okay.
then cool. If he, but even with that, this thing is still a tablet with a dual sense.
It's not a tablet. It's not. It's
No,
just
I'm-
a screen
it's
or
just
a
a screen.
controller.
Yeah.
It does not have any sort of like processor or anything that does any kind of serious.
I'm not talking
about.
about. I'm not talking about from a processor standpoint. I'm talking
It's
about.
not
from like
tablet.
form-
It's just a screen.
You didn't.
An
First of all,
LCD and a controller.
You didn't let me finish. You motherfucker! You.
And go on, then.
Oh
What I
wow.
said, what I was trying to say is that it's still a tablet with controllers attached to it. So in comparison to using a tablet, right? Your like the ergonomics of you holding it is still technically going to be better on this thing than a fucking tablet. Because on the tablet you're still like tapping shit. All of your interface is on the fucking screen. Niggas don't like that.
That's incorrect. You're incorrect because Sony themselves released an attachment that you can attach to the controller to like a tablet or a phone.
Or tablet? No. What I'm saying is that there is an attachment. It's called like the backbone or whatever for
Yeah, that
phone.
thing.
Yeah, but I already addressed the fact that if someone calls you on the phone, that's a fucking issue. Now I'm talking about from the
People
tablet
on their cell
experience.
phones in
You don't
2023
have-
text me, you
you don't-
motherfucker.
I know, but your mom is still gonna call your ass, right? Or,
My mom is not calling
or-
me when I'm playing video games.
Blake, you're an exception to the rule, okay?
Oh my goodness.
Most people are probably gonna have a family member or somebody call them on their phone, or a fucking one of those collect calls where they call you. You want to get your car insurance? Fuck off.
They do have a decline on their call buttons.
The point is, niggas could call you, right? And that's an inconvenience to you if you're using the phone with the backbone.
All right,
That's
shout
the phone
out. If
side
it's
of
an
things.
inconvenience and you want to drop 200, you be my guest, bro. You go
But
right
that's
ahead.
the thing, right?
I ain't gonna lie.
We're in
have
a
to.
day and age. We're in a
By
day
the
and
way,
age, Blake,
you can
where
also
it's
stream
all
it to your
about the
Steam Deck.
convenience.
I was
all about-
gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
You're basically paying $200 for a screen and a PlayStation controller. So essentially, not a PS5 controller. Now, PS5 controller runs you about.
I will
70?
say this.
How much
People
is a
pay-
PS5 controller in the US?
$70.
$70. So $70, and then an LCD disc, LCD display.
How much is the PS5 Pro controller though? It's basically the same amount.
No. This is not a pro controller. It's the base controller. They didn't say it was a pro controller.
But what I'm saying is that the pro controller cost around 200 or more, as far as I know.
Why should anyone buy the pro controller in the first place? I think PlayStation has overpriced.
And that's my point. My point of even bringing it up is the fact that people like premium shit, and it doesn't matter if they feel that it can give them a convenience in some way, shape, or form. They don't mind paying an unreasonable amount of money just for that little extra aspect of convenience, whatever the fuck they think that is. For the pro controller, they feel like those little extra knickknacks that come with the controller, back buttons or whatever the fuck it has going on over there, they feel it's worth paying $200 for. I call them retards, especially with the fact that the battery on it is even worse than the DualSense, right? We're not going to talk about that. The point is, they feel it's worth it, and they're willing to pay $200 for this extra convenient thing. What I'm saying is that people are going to do the same thing with this fucking whatever the fuck this thing is called. I forgot what it's called anyway.
PlayStation Portal.
PlayStation Portable, yeah.
Portal.
PlayStation,
PSP,
PlayStation Portal.
PSP, yeah. The new PSP.
All I know is... Listen, all I know is when I'm playing a game, sometimes I'm sitting at my desk and I'm sitting at the monitor. Sometimes I'm a little bit tired, and sometimes I just want to lay down and I just want to lay on my bed and play a game. And
sometimes you should be a little bitch.
Say it with your chest, Blake. Say it with your chest.
Hey man, listen.
It is like just that. Funny. It's funny. That's coming from the Switch guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Blake,
say it again. What's wrong?
Yeah, man.
I'm just saying, as an aspect that people over at the Switch will absolutely love. Just find it weird that you're slandering Shadow.
But the price, though, the price you're paying for a Switch is not that.
What I'm saying is that niggas with a job, why they ask with $200 sometimes?
Yeah, but
not me.
Does it mean because you can afford something you should waste your money and squander it on nonsense?
Nigga, we talking about gamers. Gamers waste their money on all types of stupid ass shit. Microtransactions shouldn't be as financially successful as they are if it wasn't for stupid ass niggas spending their money on shit that they probably don't fucking need.
We're
talking about gamers right now. On a fucking hobby that is luxurious as fuck. I don't know how you don't understand how a goofy nigga could come to the conclusion that he feels that this is worth it. Because they say a whole bunch of bullshit is worth it in the gaming industry, which we know it's not, but that doesn't change the fact that those stupid ass things sell like hotcakes.
No, I feel triggered. I feel triggered.
The fucking DualSense Pro controller that we were just talking about on Amazon was at the top of the fucking selling boards of the accessories of PlayStation accessories that is being sold right now. Why? Because niggas are stupid. That's why.
Not to shut Riku and Q the hell up, but can we get back on track?
Yeah, let's get back on track here. We were talking about the Xbox leak. Let's pivot over to Phil Spencer saying that if Xbox Game Pass is not profitable by 2027, that Xbox might pull out of the console race.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said. I believe that's what he said. Do we have thoughts on this? Do we think that's going to be the case? Is Microsoft really going to let Xbox fail to that degree?
I think we're going to see some changes in Game Pass in the coming years. That's what I think. That we're not going to like, because it probably means a uptick.
What was the year it said? 2027, he said?
I think he said 2027.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me. If it ends, that's fine. 2027 is a good year.
Wow. From Q of all people, bro? That's crazy.
I'll live. I've got an Xbox. Sorry, not Xbox. I've got a PC. It's all good.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's by 2027. If Xbox Game Pass does not have a lot of subscribers or does not see an increase, it's a substantial increase in subscribers by then. Phil Spencer Xbox might pull out the console race. People are saying, yeah, of course that's bad because, competition. We can't leave Sony alone in the console gaming streets. Even though the Switch and Nintendo is right there, they don't consider themselves in competition with each other. But if you just leave one, even if Sony was to pull out and Xbox was the only thing, it's not good when these companies don't have competition.
Yeah, but look at
Sony right now. These goofy niggas feel they're moving in a way like Xbox is already out of the game. Didn't they just announce some fucking bad news like a week or so ago about
PlayStation Plus increase?
Yeah, PlayStation Plus increase. Like they have the audacity.
As fuck now.
They have
they know people like Riku will pay for it.
No, I already said that once my fucking PlayStation Plus elapsed, I'm not fucking resubscribing. I
don't believe that, Riku. Not ever.
No. I'm not saying ever. I'm saying at this juncture, I am not going to resubscribe as the way it's going now. Now, if something changed, because when the PlayStation Premium got announced, and before they made the shift, and everybody was like trying to get their PlayStation subscriptions up during that time, I ponied the fuck up, and I bought PlayStation Plus till like 2026 or some shit like that.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I was just like, that obviously gives Sony enough time to convince me by the time it's ready to lapse if I should or shouldn't resubscribe. But the point is, I'm not at this juncture. I don't see myself especially with me not barely playing fucking video games right now. I don't see myself resubscribing. But even if I was considering it, if I was like the gamer that I used to be, it's fucking not worth it with the shit that they've been giving people on PlayStation Premium, just in specific. Like Extra, it's debatable in regards to the library. Extra actually has a debatably good library there. But Premium is fucking garbage for what we've gotten within the year that it's existed. And they have the audacity to increase that price and not give us a goddamn change in regards to they're just like, you know what, guys? You know what'd be great? A price increase. No, it wouldn't. Guess what? We're fucking here. And like I said, they're moving in a way like Xbox don't even fucking exist anymore. Like you guys are talking about, oh yeah, you can't leave PlayStation to their own devices without competition. They're already moving in a way like they don't have fucking competition, increasing that bullshit subscription. So who the fuck knows how they would move if Xbox actually did lead the fucking console race? It would be even worse.
What's the thing as well is like from when I buy games on Xbox, like used games or whatever have you at a game shop, they're usually cheaper than the PlayStation game, even if it's like and this is between the Series X and the PlayStation 5. So right now, like even retailers know that people are buying PS5s way more than people are buying Xboxes, because maybe they're not getting as many people buying the games on the Xbox, so they're like, okay, we'll reduce the price just to get it out of the shop, whereas the PS5 copies is usually close to the like the new brand price. It's probably like £5 less or whatever have you, and so forth. So yeah, Sony do know that they have the market, and the consumers have purchased PlayStation 5s way more than Xboxes have been purchased. But
you saw a new fucking promotion that they announced like today or yesterday about if you get a PlayStation 5 right now, you could redeem one of these PlayStation games. Ratchet and like ripped apart. Fucking God of War Ragnarok. Like what the? They're always doing some stupid, goofy shit in regards to like when you first get your console. Let's jack it off just a little bit. Oh, welcome to the club. And then when you get in there, all right, now that you're here, you're with everybody else. Bend over. Like what the fuck? You go from beating me off to bending me over. Like what the fuck happened?
God.
Bro, on the EDP, let's go.
I'm not wrong. That's what the fuck they're doing right now. They fucking get you in there. They say, welcome to the club. They beat you off. And then a couple of days later, they're like, all right, drop the trousers.
Riku now to Sony sounds like what I sounded like to Nintendo in 2020 when they announced all that shit they were delisting in March of 2021. Oh my gosh, bro.
Riku, quick question. Is there any reason if you have a PS5 4 to especially a PS4 Pro to buy a PS5? Do you think so?
Me?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is looking pretty heat.
And Ratchet and Clank.
I would say
Ratchet and Clank's on PC.
I mean,
What's that got to do with the
Spider-Man
PS4
2
Pro?
is eventually going to come to PC. They're all going to eventually come to PC.
Yeah.
So if you're using that as a reason, then there is no reason to get a PlayStation.
If you got a PC,
but if
you never
you
buy a
aren't-
console
But
again.
if you aren't using that reason, if you're one of those people, which there's still a lot of them out there that don't have a PC and they don't give a fuck about PC gaming to any degree, and they're just on the console side of things. If you're one of those people, I could see there being a debate in regards to if it's worth it to upgrade. I would say wait until you find a good deal on like a fucking Black Friday to grab yourself one of those PlayStation 5s or whatever the fuck, right? Because like I said, it's debatable whether you truly feel it's worth it upgrading or not. But PlayStation 4, it's already on its way out. We can see the performance.
Let's go.
The performance and issues in games. Cross-gen games are, they're on their way. They've. I feel like at this point this year, they're basically on their way out.
Yes, sir.
For at least when it comes to first-party games, like there's still a lot of third-party games that are cross-platform, but we know that those days are numbered as well. So it's like you could probably ride that wave if you don't really give a fuck about first-party PlayStation games. You could stay on PlayStation 4 for a lot longer. But if you do care about your Spider-Mans and whatnot, you probably should upgrade.
So if I was like your nephew, Riku's son too or something, and I came to you and I was like, Uncle, here's the deal. I've got $500 dollars.
There you go.
Yeah,
Dollars.
you better watch your fucking mouth.
Yeah. Good job. Good man.
He came to me and he said quick. I would smack the shit out of him. That's what
I'm just doing this just to get my question answered. But here's the thing. So I've got $500, right? That's the price of a PS5 right now, isn't it? Is it $500? So I've got $500 on, and I have two choices. I've got a PS4 Pro right now. I have two choices. I can either buy a PC, or I can buy a PS5 and keep my PS4. And sorry, I can buy a PC and keep my PS4 and just do that, or buy a PS5. What would you recommend me do?
He's gonna say, buy a GPD WinMax, baby.
Not GPD WinMax, not that shit.
I would tell him to get a GPD WinMax.
Oh my god.
It costs around the same amount. No. Hear me out. You want to? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's get this.
A GPD and or a Steam Deck or one of these portable PCs, right?
Right.
Because if it's a youngster or whatnot, I feel like youngsters definitely care about the portable aspect of gaming. We all had our Game Boys back in the day, and we all loved that aspect of portability. That's one of the main reasons why the Switch and the portable side of Nintendo is extremely successful in the first place. It's very appealing for a younger audience. So for him, I feel like that is actually a pretty good answer to give someone like that if they have around $500 or so to spend. Because like you said, all of these PlayStation games are coming to PC anyway, right? So it's like, if they're coming to PC anyway, you might as well, and if it's like a little kid or whatnot, dropping him into the realms of PC, troubleshoot gaming, this and that, all of that extra shit that I know comes with PC, for a kid, I think it would probably be easier for him to start off with one of those portable PCs that are impressively strong for what they are currently right now. And like I said, they have the library of all the Steam and the first-party PlayStation games that will eventually come to it. They have the portable aspect, and I would say that would be a better deal for them than a PlayStation 5. And if they are someone that would grow up to get a PC eventually, then whatever troubleshoot shit that they probably would have to do on their little PC portable device to any degree, it would train them to be prepared for, I know, the eventual bullshit that they will have to deal with when they actually get a PC, whatever the fuck that is, right? So I would say that is a good answer.
Okay, love the answer.
Lord have mercy, Riku just goes into these questions and goes into full detail on the answers. My God. Anyway, I think. Well, I feel like we've been on long enough, but if there's anything else anybody wants to discuss, did anybody play the Star Ocean demos?
I did. It's really good. Convinced me to get the game day one if I'm free.
Yeah, I think the demo is actually pretty good. Star Ocean was second story, right? Remake demo. It's really good. The only problem I have with it is the it's kind of a clash between the 3D environments and the pixel art styles, sprites.
See, I like that aspect. I understand if someone doesn't.
But I feel like, I feel like there's a clash, and I feel like the sprites, the pixels could be a little bit better. Like it's missing, what's that thing called? Anti-aliasing. Like I feel like
the pixels are jagged.
Yeah, they're supposed to be kind of jagged because they're pixels, but I feel like they could definitely look better because I definitely don't have this problem when Octopath, has this 2D HD engine. I don't have that problem then, so maybe that's just a problem that Square Enix, they're not going to fix it by the time release. The game's going to come out how it is in the demo. Don't think.
Do you think this will be an issue that a concerning amount of people will have, or do you think that this is?
It might be. It might be a condition. It's definitely. I would say it's going to keep it probably in the 80 range, maybe in Metacritic.
I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Plus, it's not an innate issue. It's more of a style choice.
Yeah, it clashes.
I think it's going to be a minority. I think it'll be a minority of people that will complain about it. I think a decent amount of people are going to be on the side about where they don't feel like it's that big of an issue.
I think definitely in the minority. It's a huge clash. It's kind of a clash, but you'll get used to it as you play. Yeah. But I feel like in reviews, it's going to be like one of the bad things about the game. It's going to keep it from getting slightly higher scores. Not like it's going to make a huge difference, but
so in Shadow's review,
yeah, in my review, I'm gonna be like, this shit sucks, but I got used to it. But I'm definitely.
Do you guys think that this specific? Because obviously, before this game got announced, you heard nothing but great things from the Star Ocean community about Star Ocean 2. Has been and always will be the best Star Ocean game. They don't give a fuck about your feelings. And a lot of the Star Ocean games have not aged well, except for Star Ocean 2, baby. Peak gaming. Right? I know some people that say Star Ocean 2 is their favorite game of all time. The person that drew my avatar, that's his favorite game of all time, Star Ocean 2. So he started sucking himself off when he saw that this game got
whoa.
The point is, with this remake coming out and people still defending the original version of the game as the best entry of Star Ocean 2, does that basically mean that this Star Ocean 2 second story remake is going to be undoubtedly the best Star Ocean game to exist now and forevermore? You say to those people.
Not everyone feels 2 is the best.
Yeah, but what I never said everyone. I said majority. Well, and if I didn't,
it's not majority either.
I've
been with the fan base for over 20 years. 3 is the most beloved game.
I feel like
present your pool.
That's the thing, though. A nice chunk of people who said 3 is the best are not saying that anymore. And if they did, they're like, yeah, I haven't played in a while, so I'm not really sure. I remember it being my favorite game.
I feel like Second Story is the like definitive. It's a good game in the series. I don't think it's like universally the best game in the series. Like Abao said, that might go to 3, but yeah, it's definitely.
I don't know. I feel like in order to be universally the best, like without a shadow of the doubt, I feel like the aging quality of a game definitely matters. If there's one thing that you still hear people praise games like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI to this day, is the fact that you could fire those games up and they have aged well. So aging in games, that's why we get in so many remakes, because the original versions of the games, outside of nostalgia, they have not aged well, right? So it's like they clean things up, they bring it to a modern audience, nostalgia and all that stuff, but the remakes clean things up. And
listen,
that's one thing that Star Ocean 3, I heard, honestly, more than any Star Ocean game in all of the entries, has aged the worst.
You're right. You're definitely right about that when it has aged the worst. But all I'm saying is this. Star Ocean 6 did nothing wrong. It's a damn good game. All right, I love it. All right, and I think a lot more people need to give it a chance. And
Do you think that there's going to? I probably can answer some of this question myself. I do think that there's probably going to be a weird subset of people like, you know what? I play Star Ocean 2. It's pretty good, but Star Ocean 6 is the best Star Ocean.
I don't know about that, but I will say it's up there. It's a good Star Ocean game. Just don't expect like a masterpiece level of graphics and great character models. But back to Star Ocean 2. It's great that this is getting a remake, updated graphics. The environments do look good, especially on a PC on a 1440p monitor. Looks really, really nice.
Now we had this conversation before, and I guess I'll bring it up again. I don't know how long it could be, or it could be short. But with 2 getting a faithful remake and respecting the game that it is, right? Mm-hmm. And with how people felt about Star Ocean 3 when it first came out, people saying unanimously during that time that this is the best and their favorite Star Ocean game, it would definitely behoove them to give Star Ocean 3 a faithful remake that brings it up to the stature and love that people had for it back when they first played it. I think Star Ocean 3 definitely at least deserves that.
I think Star Ocean 3 definitely does deserve that.
And that's the best thing that they can do after this game is out.
I think what they need to do is make sure that Star Ocean 3 doesn't look like Star Ocean 6. Like you need to keep that. You need to keep that same
I feel like
anime aesthetic to it.
Yeah, I feel like whatever like this Persona graphical fidelity, where this Persona stands, or hell, if you have the ability to get it to look anything like Arise, I feel like that's the best that they could try to steer towards if they were to make a Star Ocean 3 remake. I mean, the fact that Tales of Arise, story-wise, as far as I heard, is borderline in the realms of what a Star Ocean story is like anyway. It's like you're better off making your game look as similar to your sister franchise anyway.
Okay. But yeah, I would say Sebastian asked me in chat, do I think Star Ocean 6 is better than Xenoblade 3? I would not go that far. I'll say I enjoyed 6 more than 3, but I'm not going to say it's better than Xenoblade 3.
What'd you give 6 out of 10?
What?
Would you give Star Ocean 6 out of 10?
Probably an 8.
Interesting.
And what did you give Xenoblade?
Probably a 8.2.
8.2. Which meant to say was a 9.
Lord?
I agree.
I'd definitely say it's in the realms of a 9, but like Star Ocean 6 being the 8. Bao, where do you have Star Ocean 6 at?
6.5.
Quit that game?
Lord?
I quit it because of performance issues.
What you would say is what? You said a 7 or so?
6.5.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he didn't fully play the game, but
Lord?
That doesn't matter, Shadow. I put over 20 hours into it.
You barely touched the surface, man. There's so much going on after those 20 hours, man. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. Anything else we want to discuss, or are we good to get up out of here?
Real quick.
Naruto no Kiseki.
I wanted to just say. Big Kaito's remasters are out. You should try them. They're phenomenal. First non-Xeno games that Monolith Soft ever made, and they both aged very well.
Is that on my plug site? I'm sorry, what? Who said
your what site?
Jesus,
what?
If you don't load up that Switch,
insane. That boy ready to gorge the money out of Monolith Soft. Y'all know Monolith Soft need that money outside of the Nintendo money, and he out here trying to fuck him over. Does Xenoblade hurt you? Does Xenoblade 3 hurt you that bad? Crazy. But yeah, support Baiten Kaitos. Heard it's a very good game, and Nayuta as well. Nayuta no Kiseki recently came out.
Support that game that you're not playing and you're not going to be playing.
No. I will be playing. I probably be playing it after Resident Evil 3.
You motherfucker! Stop playing these Falcom games.
What? If Falcom brings it over, what the fuck you think I should do?
So you gonna be there for Tokyo Xanadu too?
Of course he is.
Whoa. Let's calm down.
Let's not get crazy.
That's the exception to the rule. Like at one point I would say Falcom has never missed, and then I remember that Tokyo Xanadu exists, and I was like, they actually did.
Hey man,
but Sosuke likes Xanadu. Sosuke never lied to me.
Wow.
So
All right,
said
time to end the
Tokyo
podcast.
Xanadu, but Betrayals was not.
We can end the podcast.
oh man, I'm just saying, Boundless Trail sits at 74 on Metacritic, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think it's a wrap. We good to head out of here. Chat, appreciate you guys sticking us out with us this long. It's been like 3 hours. We've had a good amount of stuff to talk about, and we covered a lot. I think. So
This was a chunky episode for you guys.
Yeah.
Monkey.
All right, let's go to our outros here. Go ahead, Q.
Thank you for everybody who tuned up. You guys know we here for them waifus and all that kind of good stuff. It's your husband of dreams. I will be streaming again this week. I know a lot of people have been asking me about it. When am I going to start back streaming?
Blandrew was in the chat. Blandrew, what you been doing, Blandrew? You don't show up on Weapon Wheel no more. You just around places, and you just not gonna go where you
Like
need.
I said, we need to get Blandrew in for the episode.
How
100.
do you now know that Blandrew's in the chat? He dropped a super chat.
I was like, he dropped a super chat earlier.
Yeah, he did.
Like, seriously.
I didn't know he was back.
He's been here the whole show. I've seen him in
He's
chat.
been here the whole show.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
he's just been chilling and listening, man.
Oh,
chilling in the cut, as they say.
Yeah, see, he said, "Hello, I've been here." Yeah, he's just been chilling
okay.
and listening, man.
All right, Blandrew, we need you back on Weapon Wheel. All right, man, we need you here for episode
Wheel?
100. All right, so
We need you here for HPMP episode 100. Blandrew as a special guest.
Oh, man.
Slide through.
We
Let us
need
give
to-
us if you can give us your thoughts if you played it by then, Blandrew, because Blandrew has recently bought Naruto as well. Hey, maybe he could let us know his thoughts. Maybe he could.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you being in the chat supporting us, Blandrew. Appreciate it a lot, man. Thanks. Were you done, Q?
No, I wasn't. But anyway, yeah. So I'll be streaming again. A lot of people ask me if I'm starting back because I haven't been streaming this whole month. But I will be back. There will be Sky, and I do intend to finish Sky by the end of this month. I'll be done. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Blakey?
Huh? No.
Blakey?
You got Blake. You got Blake.
Blake.
You got Black. He's got
Big
Black
Ridge Racer
Blake.
himself. Crazy. Now we got Blakey. Insane.
I'm not replying to that. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming out. This has been Westtown HD. Don't you forget it. We're going to aim to stream Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 for the first time. I think we're on session 3 now. Really liking my time with it. Impressed with how much they've squeezed out of Midgar thus far. Gonna be streaming it Monday night over on the Twitch page. It's basically all where I'm active. The YouTube drive is just not coming back and working full time. It's not leaving me much time to do much on YouTube. So if you want to interact with me and hang out, head out my Twitch page. And yeah, thank you as always to Shadow for having me on, even though, I don't really have to thank him because, I'll be here longer than the roaches. But yeah, anyway, thank you.
All right. Riku?
Riku-san won the only one. Falcom's finest, dropping you guys with some entertainment when it came to the Kudo section and other parts of it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You will not replace me with Souls. Shout out to Souls. He's out there in the
Shout out to that boy Souls.
Shout out to that boy Souls. And we had a good chunky episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it on this nice Saturday night.
All right. And Bao.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to another HPMP. We had a lot to cover today, and we appreciate all of you that were here from the very beginning. I have a video coming out in the next few days over a certain game that I am going to respect the embargo for, but be on the lookout for that.
Crazy.
Tune in next year when I take Q's money and his pride as a man.
Wow.
We'll see you.
Wow, the slander. Oh.
We appreciate you. Enjoy your nights. And for once, it's not a Sunday, so it feels kind of weird. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, and wait, did I do? Yeah, I did. All right, and you guys know who I am. Shadow Elite HD, Mr. JRPG. Get ready for a review on the Disgaea 7 demo. That's coming out this next week. Actually, no, it's not coming out next week, but a video. I might upload a video next week on the Disgaea 7 demo. So look forward to that.
You need to stop.
I gotta stop. What the fuck am I doing? But yeah, we will be back with video since somebody's teaching me how to use Adobe Premiere Pro, and it's going pretty well. So hopefully that'll get the drive to upload more again. All right, guys.
Somebody just say pal.
Hey man, I'm trying to be as discreet as possible, man. Yeah,
I was right.
All right, man, oh man.
Oh
Jesus
my God.
That boy Q. Snitches get stitches, bro.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
Later.
Nobody's gonna say something, nothing incriminating. Okay.
Yo,
I'll-
monkey wiener is
The stream is still up.
You
by
think
the
we're
way.
trying Sheplock out here, man? Nah, we good.
You sure?
Legend has it that Shadow's on his 6th abortion.
I mean, like,
Insane.
I mean, you don't want to say anything about BD in the chat right now. BD saying, "Hey, yo, we tired of that nigga, right? We don't like BD. BD, we don't like you, sir."
Who is BD?
I don't know.
I don't even want to know what BD stands for.
So I gotta head out.
Christ.
If by chance
Big
you're here
dick.
later for some HP MP after dark, I may be back. But if not, I'll see you.
All right, see you in a bit.